Hello, Durud and Shalom. We be live. Hi, Monkey.
Hello. Hello, chat.
Hi. How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. It's good morning. I got my hot coffee right here, ready to go.
Awesome, awesome. Well, I'm gonna put you in a bad mood now. So, yeah.
Um,
I
you got
okay. I'm
Alex
just
Jones
kidding.
here.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, this video. Let me just play it. By the way, I haven't pre-watched this video. Okay. Uh, I use the super chat money that people give to us in these live streams. I've hired a team that goes in and hunts down these videos and sends them to me for us to watch together. So these are not pre-watched. I don't know what I'm gonna see here, but based on his description, it's not going to be good. Well, we'll see. I mean, let's play it. Oh, we already got a super chat already. Thank you so much, Tom. Tom is saying like and subscribe to Liberty Politics and Grease Monkey. Yes, I will be talking about Grease Monkey's channel and what he's going to be doing later today. So
Appreciate you,
we'll do
Tom.
that soon. And thank you, Tom. Thank you, Tom. And thank you for, yeah, guys, wherever you're watching this from, make sure you subscribe and like and hit the bell notification. That's really helps us out a lot. Okay. So let's go to this first video. And Monkey, if you need me to pause, and if you want me to if you want to comment, let me know. Open your mic and tell me to pause so I could let you respond to it. Okay. So here.
The United States government has become the evil empire in the world.
Extremist right-wing podcasters are starting to borrow anti-American messaging from the far left.
We're going to see the end of American empire.
This could end the American empire, and that's what we are.
The idea of calling the United States an empire didn't appear overnight. It's been embedded in far-left rhetoric for over a century and shaped by communist ideology.
Dismantle the empire.
Cuba is not the threat, and the threat is U.S. empire itself.
The horrific, belligerent nature of U.S. empire.
The far left used the term empire to describe America's global influence, with the belief that it should be dismantled to make way for a new world order.
We're going to take down the empire from within.
Leftist, Islamist, socialist, I don't care what ideology you have. What matters is we are united under one idea, which is beating imperialism and capitalism.
The most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Now, many right-wing podcasters who claim to be America First are using their platforms to demonize America and its government, presenting those views as mainstream.
Why does peace starting to look a little bit like imperialism dressed up?
The globalist American empire.
That America is an empire. America was an empire. America has always been, at some level, an empire.
Both political extremes are escalating narratives that paint the United States as a target for destruction.
This is the end of the empire as we knew it.
Gotta be honest that the American empire sadly seems to be winning.
We're in the middle of a dying empire.
The carcass of this empire.
The far left agenda to destroy America is being quietly laundered into right-wing spaces by foreign-funded podcasters. America is worth saving. Don't let propagandists gaslight you into abandoning it.
All right, what do you think?
I wasn't upset at all. I was just agreeing.
Yeah.
I'm happy. This makes me happy. I want to share this video.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah. It's a good yeah, it was actually, I mean, I didn't know what it's gonna be, but it's a pretty good side-by-side comparison. This is a good account. I already follow them. That's a pretty good account. But
follow these guys. They're on the ball. They see what's going on, how these people are infiltrating and getting funded to switch sides.
It's called, this account is Canary Mission. That was a pretty good video. That's pretty good. It's a short explanation of what's happening.
Do you know what the Canary's doing? Why it says Canary? I have an idea.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a canary in a coal mine?
I think everybody has heard about a canary in a coal mine.
Okay. Well, I think that's their mission. Like they're like sounding the alarm. Like, hey, stuff is happening. Yes. You got to be alert.
Yes. How do you respond to the accusation that United States is an empire?
I don't really care. I mean, if it's an evil empire or a good empire, what's your definition of empire? Like a lot of these people got no history of what an empire is, what an empire does. I think it's a constitutional republic, basically because that's what it is. Like we have some democratic representation. These representatives, function under a constitutional republic. I don't know what they're talking about empire. I mean, you could call anything an empire. Some people call companies within genre, or like you could call Disney an empire within film. You know what I'm saying? The empire is a word that's very loosely used. If we're going by a textbook definition, we have to look at that textbook definition. I don't care if you call me an empire. As long as I'm on top, I don't care.
I mean, I don't care. I don't actually think that if United States is on top is good enough. United States is on top and a force for good. And the United States, in my opinion, is the greatest anti-imperialist force that has ever existed. And it has been anti-imperialist from its foundation and has been continuously anti-imperialist. And no other force has been able to even come close to the United States when it comes to destroying empires, right? Because to me, imperialism is necessarily the violation of the right to self-determination of a group of people from some other people in a different place. And the United States not only has not done that, the United States started, from the beginning, it started as a force against empire, right? And then against the empire that ruled over that land. So it destroyed an empire that ruled over it. And I think for a lot of people, if you're powerful, you are an empire, which is the most, the dumbest way of looking what empire means. That's why people came up with the term neo-imperialism, to a made-up word to basically suggest that there is a way to be an empire without violating other people's right to self-determination. And hold on, let me finish this point. United States, after the American Revolution, which destroyed an empire, then went on fighting other empires that were violating other people's right to self-determination. During World War II, United States was fighting empires that were violating people's rights. During the Cold War, so the Nazis were an empire, the Japanese were an empire, and the United States was fighting empires. It wasn't itself violating anyone's rights to self-determination. Then it fight the Soviet Union, which was an empire because it was violating so many other regions' right to self-determination. And the greatest imperial forces right now, as we're speaking, is the Islamic imperial force and the CCP, which is the United States is fighting. Just because you're powerful and you have influence around the world, that doesn't make you an empire, because the influence of the United States around the world is with permission of those countries. Unless those countries are dictators, then violating what dictators want is not at all violating the right to self-determination of the people who live there. In fact, it does the opposite. So, for example, if you do something without the permission of the Islamic Republic, you're not violating the right to self-determination of the Iranian people, because the Islamic Republic doesn't represent the Iranian people or their right to self-determination. In fact, you are helping the Iranian people for their right to self-determination. So tell me exactly how United States as an empire, where is it?
Okay, I will. Like the thing that you're going by is you're going by the expansionist definition. Like what you're talking about is an expansionist empire that's trying to control people. No, I don't think the U.S. is that, right? I'm talking about the way that your Walmart American sees the word empire. They're not going to care. They're not going to go that deep into it. They don't know this deep history about Russia. They don't know this deep history about these places. You're well informed. You got the curse of knowledge. So when you hear empire, it triggers you into this rant about, no, we're not, because this is the fact. And you stated a long list of facts. I can't go against any of those facts. I'm just saying to your Walmart, I'm an empire. I don't care. I know we're the good guys. That's what I fucking know. I know these motherfuckers in Russia were bad. I know those motherfuckers in Iran are bad. I know those motherfuckers in China are bad. And that's what your average Walmart American, they might not care. But I think you're correct about your definition.
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk to people who do care. And I think many Americans do care about what the definitions are.
These people define it as evil. And I don't agree with that.
Yeah. All right, but I'm gonna keep telling people so that they could use this understanding is that if you're not violating people's right to self-determination, if you do not have colonies, and you're not ruling over people without their permission, if you're not taxing people without representing them, then you're not an empire. Just because I'm powerful, just because I have a giant economy, just because I have a military that is present all over around the world, just because other countries want my market, want to participate in my market, just because I have a population of people with a higher purchasing power that everybody around the world wants to sell to, just because my army is so big that the rest of the world is begging me to be present in their neighborhood so I could provide security for them, that doesn't make me an empire. That just makes me powerful. Okay, so don't stop.
I think I'm in a corner here because I live in Puerto Rico.
Jealous. You're jealous. You're jealous of my power. You're jealous of my culture. You're jealous of my economy, and you're jealous of my military. And you're jealous that all the countries in the world want it. They want my military to be in their neighborhood. They want my economy. They want to sell to my citizens. You're jealous of that, and that's why you're calling me an empire.
You gotta let me cut in here. All right, what's going on here is I live in Puerto Rico. We do not have representation. Right? We are ruled by the United States without representation. But what is the will of the people in Puerto Rico? What do the people in Puerto Rico actually want? Well, the literal GOP, the Republican Party, is what rules in Puerto Rico. And what has stopped Puerto Rico from becoming a state is whenever our people decide to be a state, statehood wins in Puerto Rico, all right? Overwhelmingly, statehood or a path towards statehood or gaining statehood wins, but the Democrats block us because we're too conservative, right? There's this notion in America that Puerto Ricans are like New Yorkers, right? So it's always someone like Obama and the Democrats that block us from becoming a state. We do not have representation, all right? We are ruled by federal law with no representation. That is true. Some see it imperially. Some people do think, look, you're being ruled with representation. That's just fucking wrong. You should have a vote in the Senate. You should have a vote in Congress according to your apportionment, right? You do have your 13 electoral votes, like everybody has electoral college votes. We do have votes that went to Trump, but it's chosen by your party. It's not chosen by the electorate through direct vote for the presidency. And you don't have a representation. So that is seen by some as imperial. But who is actually blocking our position? Who is blocking our statehood? It's the freaking Democrats, right? So here's the thing that happens, right? When we're talking about America, when the Democrats are in power and they do something wrong, they blame all America, right? When the Republicans do something good, right? You know, it's not good enough. Like, no one talks about the good stuff that the Republicans do. When the Democrats do something terrible, all of America gets blamed. No one says, well, the Democrats. No one says, well, you know, in the world stage, when something bad happens, no one say, hey, Jimmy Carter put the IRGC in power. No, they say America put the IRGC in power. But that's not true. That was the fucking Democrats. So I like to make this distinction about representation, about expansionism and all that. Look, I know that Puerto Rico does not have representation. We don't have that. But we did elect the GOP, and we elected by lot. Like, now we have the most conservative government we have ever had, and the Democrats have fallen to third place. I want everybody out there to know, like, if we don't have a representative in the Congress and the Senate, but if you go by our numbers, we are overwhelmingly Republican.
All right, so just to be, I don't want to spend too much time on this because we have so many videos to watch. Just to be clear, again, I'm not supporting this, but this is still not imperialism in Puerto Rico, because if you don't have participation, this is not taxation without representation, because there's tax exemption. Again, and also,
no, we pay federal taxes.
I know, but there are exemptions from income tax on island earned income.
No,
right?
I have to pay my federal taxes. We all pay federal taxes. We don't.
But Ireland earned income. That Ireland earned income is exempt. It's exempt.
It's not. It's like literally not.
Well, okay, that's what
we have to pay. Here we call it there's a name for it. You have to pay federal taxes. No one escapes federal taxes.
No. I'm not saying. Okay, let me see. I know there are federal taxes, but are you sure that income-based Ireland is taxed federally?
Federal taxes apply. Like all federal taxes apply. The only time we didn't have like a federal tax was for corporations. It was during the time of the 936, the 936. That's when corporations like Pfizer became very big here, and we produced some of the a large amount of drugs for
you. So
USA.
this is what I'm reading on a legal website. Okay, and I don't want to argue this, but let's move on after this. Under Section 933 of the Internal Revenue Code, residents of Puerto Rico are entirely exempt from U.S. federal income tax on income earned within the island. So that's what I'm reading on the legal website. If it's wrong, then it's not my fault, it's them.
I mean, most of the corporations here are not island corporations. If you're working, you're probably working for Pfizer, you're working for Walmart, you're working
there you
for...
go. So I was right.
These are very few... That's like 5-10%.
Again, I really want to move to the next video. Also, there are local elections where people there do vote for their own governance, resident commissioner, and non-voting members of U.S. Congress.
We vote for Trump.
There you go. Okay, there you go. So it's not imperialism. Let me see, Sean. I don't see that's imperialism, and I'm pretty sure
I don't either. I just wanted to clarify because people might bring that up and say, "Oh, you're fake Puerto Rican. You're not bringing up these points, and they're important points." I do understand our situation. I do understand that most 95% of job here are American corporations. That 5% that doesn't pay taxes, they're very small businesses and a very small share of what is income in Puerto Rico. I do understand that we can't directly vote for the president. As a person of Puerto Rico, I can't just move along and not speak about these things because I'd be I gotta say it.
Shauna has a super chat. Thank you, Shauna, saying America is the best nation. Great Britain was the best empire. That is 100% true. And I'm not against the idea of an empire when it was the best model. So just because I'm anti-empire now, and I think United States is the greatest force against empire, it doesn't mean that empires are inherently a bad thing. Empires were the best model during the age of empires, which lasted 10,000 years. The nation state model did not make sense during the age of empires. Okay, the only reason why we are now in favor of the nation state model, not the empire model, is because now the empire model doesn't make any sense and the nation state model makes sense, right? And as far as empires go, the British Empire was the best empire, was the most moral empire, it was the best empire that ever existed, for sure. I completely agree with those two statements from Shauna. And I think most empires were a force for good, were a force for order and stability. Without empire during the age of empires, you only had the alternative was barbarism.
I don't think we'd have America without that being a step towards our common law and our system of governance. It was very necessary that they existed so that we can exist. I think the British Empire is also not getting credit for being one of the greatest forces on earth against slavery. Everywhere that they could do something about it, they did do something about it. And I'm going to tell you what else. The places, people that complain about it don't complain about the places that have slavery right now, which is a problem.
Right. Oh, we got another super chat saying by Fleshy Interloper. Thank you so much, Fleshy. Saying, Monkey, I will send you commies to liberate you. liberating.
No. Liberate me from the Democrats. That's why I want liberation from this. Obama said that we are still, unable to correctly understand politics, so we can't be allowed to be a state because the vote for statehood in Puerto Rico means you're voting conservative. You're voting for the GOP. To vote to be a state, you have to be GOP. In the island, you can't vote to be a state and not be GOP. That's the GOP party is about becoming a state in Puerto Rico.
Okay. And thank you for the super chat, Fleshy. Look at this video from inside Iran. Look at this comment. This is who the U.S. is negotiating with. Signs calling for revenge and threatening President Trump were seen throughout Khamenei's funeral. Reminder: in Iran, messaging at an event like this isn't spontaneous. It is state approved. And this is the same regime the U.S. continues to negotiate with. When the regime shows you who it is, believe it. Look at the signs that they were holding. This just happened. Like, you see there the sign? It says KILL Trump. YouTube, we are against this. Please protect President Trump. Please protect President Trump. We're just reporting the news. We're telling you what is happening in Iran, officially approved by the Islamic Republic. This is what they're putting out there. Look at the signs. What do you think about this, Monkey? This is insane. Like, this should not go without an answer.
I think it's kind of evil. I think it's, I think these people are against the negotiation. I think they're allowed to do this. I think there's a little bit of internal politicking in here. Allow them to have this as a relief valve during the funeral. Let's Ghalibaf look like, no, you can hate Trump all you want. But if they get a little too loud about it, or they get a little too, it gets into the mouth of people in the position, they might wind up floating face down in a pool.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I actually have a few signs that shows that they are basically trying to get people not to ask for revenge anymore. You know what? Now that I mentioned that, I'm going to download that. So they're basically backing off the revenge request. Let me actually download some of these videos so I could show you guys later. But okay, let me show you a funny video from what happened here. Look at this. So there was this picture of Trump. Okay, so during the funeral, they had this ad banner. You see that, right? Of Trump with a bullet going towards his head, basically suggesting that they're gonna one day do this to him. They're gonna basically take him out, right? But then look at what the people who came to the funeral, they started throwing rocks at it. But here's the funny thing about it. Look at this.
Wait a minute. Are those flip-flops? Are they throwing flip-flops at that thing?
Okay, so they ripped out their own banner. Look at this. Not only they started throwing rocks at it, or whatever, bottles or whatever at it.
I think those are sandals. Are they throwing their sandals? Are those flip-flops? Like some of those?
No.
Because I know there's a custom of throwing your flip-flops.
No, that's mostly in other places. I think they're water bottles.
Well,
Okay,
I'm glad they at least
bottle.
have the sense to keep their shoes.
Yes, but also look at this. Like, the point is, like, and they also ripped apart their own banner that the government put up because they were so angry with seeing President Trump's picture. But the main point I wanted to make is that these things that they're throwing at President Trump is dropping on their own head. Like, look at the people. Let me play it again. Like, there are people, they're walking, and they're throwing this at Trump, and it's basically hitting them in their own head. Look at this. Look, there are people walking under it. It's just going to hit them. It's just bouncing off of Trump's picture and falling on their head. You see that?
I'm gonna tell you something. I bet that sign isn't cheap. Like, however much that cost, that was supposed to signify Trump being assassinated or something. That was supposed to maybe last weeks or months. Right now, they're destroying a sign that probably cost hundreds of dollars in that economy, millions. Like how much? What is it, real? How much do you think? What's the name of the coin? How much do you think that cost?
Like a real, yeah, I don't know. I stopped keeping track. Like a tuman is 10 reals, and last time I checked, like, I don't know, it's hovering. Guys, help me out, Iranians in the chat. Is it like 100,000 now? Something close to there. So each real is like $1 million, something close to that. I don't know.
Oh, so we're probably at billions of dollars.
Sorry,
for this side.
Sorry, the other way around. Yeah, so each real is like 10,000 or something. I don't know, but I have to ask people in the Iranians in chat. I stopped. It just gets so astronomical numbers that I just stopped keeping track.
Look, if I'm the guy that has to pay for these signs, I would be very upset.
Okay, yeah. Oh, we got 3 more super chats. Thank you, guys. Shauna saying Texas and I voted to make Puerto Rico the 51st state, and think it should be on the GOP's official platform. I think Papa Marcos Rubio could do it. Okay, I know some Monkey, without getting too much into detail, like just like one or two lines. Isn't it true that some Puerto Ricans prefer not being a state because they like some of the tax exempt status? Some Puerto Ricans prefer it this way. Is it true or not true?
Some people like the way it works, but it keeps them in power because it keeps them in power. Some people, that's the Democrats. Like our Democrats, we have 3 parties. The GOP, which wants to become a state, the Democrats like things the way they are, and we have the independence movement. Right now, the Democrats fell to 3rd place, and between both of them, they're splitting the rest. So we're at over 50% of the island wants to be a state. Way over.
Way over. Okay. That's that last line. What I wanted. Okay, but thank you. And Debbie, thank you so much for the super chat, saying thank you, team. I was sus about Mario Nafal. Oh yes, not anyone, but I want Armin to civilly debate him since he interviews knowledgeable individuals. Well, can you Debbie? Can you do me a favor? Can you super chat him and then tell him that I follow him on X? Do I follow him? So he could follow, he could message me. Like, because these people don't respond to emails, but they might respond to your super chat. Let me see. Do I follow him? Yes, I do follow him. Just tell him that I follow him on X, and he could message me there. And I will say, I would respond positively for sure. Right? And thank you, Debbie, for the recommendation.
I understand you've even interviewed people in Iran that are pro-regime, and that you have a good track record of being able to have a conversation with them.
Yes, very politely, even with people with the worst ideas. I have polite conversations with them. I've debated people, high officials within the Islamic Republic regime. Yeah. And thank you, Debbie, for the recommendation. I would definitely want to do that. And then we have Captain Kush saying you can't fix stupid. Sometimes you can, but most of the time you can't. Most of the time you can't.
I mean, if you're throwing things and they're falling on your head, that's pretty dumb.
Sometimes maybe you don't want to fix stupid, because if your enemies are this stupid, then that's actually a good thing, right? Okay, so speaking of signs, by the way, there were more signs. So at Khamenei's funeral in Tehran, signs displaying Trump, Ben Shapiro, Laura Loomer, Mariam Edelson, Lindsey Graham, and others with red targets over their faces. The text reads, "In the end, your heads will be severed." Let me see.
We have some targets here for you. You approve? Oh, this one.
That's not a rumor, right?
I believe so.
That's Lindsey Graham. That's Edelson. Who's this? I don't know who this person is. This is Mariam Edelson. This is Ben Shapiro. President Trump. Lindsey Graham. Who's this guy? I don't know who this guy is.
I don't know some of these guys. They're just going off quotes. I look. This is probably produced by the RRGC. These are not your handmade, protester. I want to express myself sign. This is basically propaganda and promotional signs. This is like the same guy that sells you ice cream or whatever. The same company that makes that kind of campaign is making this. This is a professional sign. This isn't like this isn't organic. This is manufactured. This is made for a reason. I would put this at state level more than I would like general Iranian people expressing themselves level. You understand what I mean?
Yeah. Do you get a sense that the crowd behind him is not that large? Like this is like they said 20 million people are going to come.
They're hiding the smallness of the crowd with the bigness of the signs. Like imagine those signs aren't there. Like go through the video, but cut out the sign in your mind, and you're gonna say, "Oh, this place is empty."
Well, so they're trying to block maybe how small it is, but I have another video that shows from another angle that shows how busy the streets were for the funeral. Look at this. This is not what 20 million people coming into the streets looks like. Look at this. This was on the day of the funeral.
This isn't 1 million. This isn't like not even one.
This is not even 10,000. Wow. Guys, like Monkey, when I say I think the support for the regime is less than 1%, this is what I'm seeing,
Yeah, a supporter would be out here. They have to bust them in, and they're not out there in force. I'm gonna be generous. I'm gonna be generous and realistic. I think they maybe had 100,000. If you go through everyone that's all over the city, generous. I'm probably wrong. I'm probably overestimating it, but max, because they had like let's say 30,000 was the max that fit over there in the stadium. Some people outside, and I think I'm exaggerating.
So let's give them. Let's give them 500,000 showed up. 500,000. Okay. That's good.
That's still very short of what they claim, but yeah.
Okay, but like based on everything we saw, everybody could agree that it's not 500,000, right? Like, but let's just be so generous to the Islamic Republic and say 500,000 people showed up, right? Let's also ignore the fact that it became mandatory for people to show up. But if you're a government employee, that's already hundreds of thousands of people. And I have the audio, by the way, to prove it if I could find it. Yeah, there's an audio. Let me actually see if I could find it right away for you guys. Let me see here. I think
so. If you're not at the funeral, you won't be at the job because you're fired.
You get fired. You get fired from your job if you don't show up. There was an audio recording from I saw that it was recorded. They were basically somebody from the government calling the government offices, and it was recorded saying like there is no option. Like you have to come. Like tell people that there are no exceptions. I'll find the audio at some point and play it for you. But it was basically the guy was very clear, like everybody needs to come, like, or else there will be consequences. I will eventually find that audio and show it to you guys, but I can't find it right now. Oh, maybe it was in Iran International Persian. Maybe it was there, not the English one. Let me see if I could quickly. I did see it.
That's illegal here. Like I'm pretty sure in U.S. too, but you can't mandate anybody to go to a political event.
Oh yeah,
Much less a few.
So I'll get my team to find it, and I'll show it to play it for you guys at some point. I can't find it right now. But so let's say 500,000 people showed up, and also let's say that none of them were forced by the government, because if you want to count that, like the IRGC itself has hundreds of thousands of people that will be forced to show up, along with all other government agencies. You know, that itself is like in the millions, right? Like they should have been able to get millions just by getting government employees to show up. So it's amazing that they didn't do that. So 500,000, ignore that people were forced, ignore that you were handing out free eggs, ignore that you were handing out free food, ignore that you're paying people, ignore that you brought people from Iraq, from Lebanon, from Pakistan, and from Afghanistan, and from Yemen to fill in to increase the sizes. Ignore all of that, okay? And say these 500,000 people showed up not because of the free food, not because they were forced, not because you were filling your numbers from these other countries. All 500,000 people showed up, which is the most generous number I could think of, and all of them were genuine supporters of the Islamic Republic, right? And also, let's agree that if you didn't show up, you cannot call yourself a supporter of the Islamic Republic. This is the one thing the Republic expected of you. This was the funeral of the supreme leader. Like, if you didn't show up, then you are not then your support means nothing. Like, you couldn't even go to this event that everything was provided, water, you know, what is this called, water mist in the so to lower the temperature, free food, toilet, tents for people to sleep, everything was provided, and you couldn't show up to the one event that you had to show up to show your support, and you didn't show up. Then honestly, if you didn't show up, your support for the Islamic Republic is meaningless, right? You agree with that?
Yes, I have a trouble with 500,000. I think it's more like 250, but I'm gonna go along with your
let's just go
thought
with
experiment.
Okay, 500,000 at the population of Iran is 90 million. That is less than 1%. That is less than 1%.
That's what some people call a drop in the bucket.
Yes. So even with the most generous take, with 500,000, with ignoring that people were not forced, people didn't show up for food, people were not brought in from other countries, ignoring all of that, if we give you 500,000, that means that the most support that the Islamic Republic has is still under 1%. That's like 0.5%.
I think a good point is being brought up by Fleshy Interloper right there.
Oh.
Because I think there's more than 500,000 in the diaspora, you know, repping Pahlavi and his, you know, the family.
Yeah, so how many diaspora turned up for Pahlavi same day? I don't know the numbers, but it was bigger than this.
Absolutely.
Especially if you take into account that they're not in Iran, so they're a minority. How does Pahlavi bring in a higher population of Iranians outside of Iran than the Islamic Republic inside of Iran? You have access to more Iranians there.
This just proves the point.
Yeah.
There is no support for the IRGC. Like, this is basically whoever's forced or indoctrinated into it, and there's more force than indoctrination here. Like, by force of hunger, by force of, you know, like some people will be hungry enough to go, right? Like, hey man, I need a bag of rice for home. Like, you got that for me? I'll do it. Leave the bag here. I'll get on the bus. Let me leave the bag here for my family. I'll get on the bus. And I'll go and I'll cry. I'll cry so hard. I'll be thinking about my family being hungry, but I'm going to cry. The tears will be real, but it won't be for the Ayatollah. It will be for my hungry family. Like,
you want to see something? Yeah. No, that's a good point.
No, that was the point. Go ahead.
But, you know, actually, a lot of these Shias have years of practice crying for Hussein. So when it comes to pretending to cry, they're experts. I think Shias are the experts at crying when it comes to fake crying.
That is
It
a
doesn't get-
technique, though. Like actors will think about some real pain inside to express a pain that isn't real to the public. Like you'll think about something that actually hurts your feelings, so that you can cry in public about something that you don't even care about. Like that may be one of their techniques. They must have many techniques. They may have hidden onions, like a little onion compartment near the watch, like a little slicer dicer compartment. You just open it near your wrist, and you put your hands to your head. Oh my God! You put like your fingers on your forehead. Oh my God! And you're getting that onion whiff, and then it makes you cry. There may be many techniques. We have to study this.
No. Oh my God. Okay. Wait, let me see if I could find that video. It's okay. Never mind. I have a better video. I have a very special video that I want to show you guys, because a lot of people might think justifiably that you guys are anti-Islamic Republic, so you're lying. You're a biased source of information, and probably the crowds were not as small as you guys are making it out to be, right? Which is a fair skepticism. Like I encourage people to be skeptical. You shouldn't just believe things that we're saying just because we're saying it. If you like Monkey, if you like me, that doesn't justify just coming out and watching us and thinking like, hey, I like Armin, I like Monkey, so I'm just going to believe him. That's not a good strategy, right? You always have to be skeptical and verify things, right? So I'm going to help you with verifying this, because this is a pro-regime person during the funeral, and he's going to try to convince the pro-regime people that it's not, it's okay that the crowds are low, right? So let me translate this for you guys.
دوستان عزیز، یکی از مواردی که مراسم تشییع خیلی سوال میکنن و نگرانن، میگن که چرا انقدر خلوته.
So he's saying that many of our friends, like the pro-regime people who are worried, and they're contacting us and asking us is, why are the crowds so low? So this is the first 8 seconds. I just want to pause this here. So you can see that these are pro-regime people during the funeral responding to people online who are pro-regime, asking why are the crowd levels are so low. So this is a good confirmation that there's two things being confirmed here at the same time. First of all, he's confirming that the crowd sizes are low. Two, he's also confirming that their own people are noticing and complaining about it. So you got two confirmations here. They themselves are upset about this and are talking about the fact that the crowds are low. So, by the way, he's going to come up with an excuse now. All right. So what let me see what he's like. Don't, guys, it's okay. So his response is not that, no, the crowds are not low. He's going to come up with an excuse for why it's okay that the crowd numbers are low. So let's see. So he's saying these gatherings are a goodbye ceremony. So he's saying it's not the crowd that are showing up, they're not supposed to stay. People come and say their goodbye and they leave. So he's saying they're not going to gather around for so long. It's not like they're going to just stay around and be there. They're going to come and then they're going to go. So people come, they said the goodbye and they go back. So people come, they come say goodbye, and because they're gonna be tired, so they're gonna go back to the resting place and rest. And then they might come back again. And that's why the crowds gather up and then they go lower, because people come and then they leave. And he's like, so don't worry, don't let these narratives like upset you, like that the crowds are low. This, by the way, the excuse is dumb, because the whole point of this was to show that you have 20 million people, right? So, and these are people who say like, oh, I would give my life for the Islamic Republic. You couldn't, you give your life for the Islamic Republic, you couldn't stay there for a few hours at the most important day for the Islamic Republic to show the legitimacy of the Islamic Republic. You couldn't stay there for a couple of hours for you all to gather up, so to demonstrate to the world that your numbers are high, you had to go back to your hotel and sleep. Like you're supposed to be able to sacrifice your life for the Islamic Republic. You couldn't sacrifice a few hours? This is such a insane excuse.
Well, I understand what he's saying. Like in a funeral, you go, you see the people, you say condolences, and you leave. It's not a concert. We're not waiting for a main event, right? But I think there was kind of a main event that everybody was supposed to wait for. There were some kind of speeches there, right? Am I mistaken, or is this correct? Was there not like some kind of event happening where there were speeches and there was singing and all this? He's acting like there's no main event, but was there a main event? I think there was. And this thing about the crowds growing because they come back and leave. No, I think that's people get off the bus. That's when the crowd goes. People leave. That's when the crowd dies down. And then another bus comes in, and that's when the crowd grows. And then everybody said, okay, I went to do the performance. I'm out. And that's when the crowd, the people that are coming in buses, that's when the crowd grows, but they're not staying. So that's why it dies back down. Their expectation, by theory, is that they expected that when they bring a bus full of people, they're going to stay. But the crowd is going up and down because they let a couple of buses let their people out.
But the main point was to show up and show your numbers. That was the main point.
Yeah, but they don't care about the Ayatollah. They don't give a shit, so they're not going to do that. It's not going to work.
No, if they did, but the whole point of people coming to this event is to show to the enemies of the Islamic Republic that we're many. So you could you know what I mean? So what is if you're coming and going, then you're not going to be able to show that. The point was to show that you're 20 million of you.
And it's a terrible excuse because the people don't care. The people don't actually care. He's making up this excuse that's why the people are leaving. No, the people are leaving because they don't care. Like they show up to fulfill their basically basic obligation, and then they get out because they don't really care. I know what their purpose was. I know what their intent was, but because the people don't care, they're not going to be able to fulfill that intent.
Right. Okay. Let me show you. Wait, hold on. Okay. Let me show you this one, because these are, so Iran International did a good job in collecting all the content creators from around, and influencers from all around the world being present at the Ali Khamenei's funeral, right? From Kenya, Indonesia, United States, Tanzania, Pakistan, Germany, documented Khamenei's funeral events in Tehran. Among them was American influencer Jackson Hinkle, who has been accused of this dismantling the pro-Russian propaganda. Disseminate. What is this? What is this word? Let me see.
Disseminating is like a propagating, spreading.
Disseminating is the present. Okay, so it means to spread and scatter widely. Okay, disseminating pro-Russia propaganda and Islamist narratives, according to the network. What is this? Contagion Research Institute. Hinkle previously attended the funeral of Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah in Beirut. Okay, disseminating. Let's play this.
People of Iran, young and old, men and women, have been out here standing with the revolution against the United States, against the Zionist entity and the terrorist crimes of the Trump administration and Netanyahu. If there's one thing I can tell you here tonight, it's that the people here want their revenge, and revenge I'm sure they will get.
So that was from United States. This one is another influencer, Laini Misra Lukman from Indonesia.
We managed at least to.
So this is another influencer, Sheikh Ali. I have no idea how to pronounce that one, from Kenya.
To say goodbye to our leader in one way or another. It's his coffin there, as you can see.
This guy is from Tanzania, content creator Thompson Kanjululu. Wow, what a great Kanjululu.
That's a cute name. That's a Kanjululu. That's adorable. Okay, Lulu. Okay.
Jululu. Kanjululu. Okay. That's a lot of lose. Jululu.
And this is a night vigil, second in a row. And they still have about 4 more days to go.
مصلی امام خمینی पे
अब से
Mohammad Hussein, Pakistani content creator.
कुछ देर बाद रहबर का नमाज जनाजा होगा. Hinter mir seht ihr die Freiheitsstraße.
This is Hani Kerimian. Kerimian. Germany-based content creator. He looks very German.
Die Azadi-Straße in Teheran, die überfüllt ist und überflutet ist, die Menschen, die gerade auf... लेकिन
That's empty. You see behind him?
Huh? Oh my God, you're right. Look at that. They cry. Look at that. Oh my God. Yeah, that's 20 million for sure. For sure. Okay, this guy. Mehdi Hassan Punawala. This is Gujarati speaking content creator.
इंतकाम से हाथ नहीं उठाया है, यानी वो इंतकाम तो होके रहेगा, सिर्फ रैबर को खुदाफिज कहने वाले, रैबर के इंतकाम को खुदाफिज हम लोग नहीं कहने वाले हैं.
I got the Khudafiz part. Interesting. So yeah, they bring people from content creators from everywhere to, spread the propaganda.
Can we go to the text of the tweet? Because there's something that I said there that I think is a little bit important. Because if there is this Contagion Research Institute and they have any track record of having correct records that can be used to make a case that they are working as material support, because they're specifically using language, disseminating propaganda, and Network Contagion Institute. So if they're documenting, these are important words if you're going to designate these people as providing material support. I would highlight that.
Interesting. Good point. Okay, so let me read a super chat, and then I'm going to show you a video that I received from inside Iran that I wanted to share with you guys. Okay. So this is me content that is not anywhere else, and I will show that to you guys. Fleshy Interloper, thank you so much for the super chat, saying crazy high prices, people stay away from free food is protest. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Given that
that was the rice you talked about, people throwing the rice in the air, that this is not about money, it's about
yeah, but also on that. Given how expensive food is and they're handing out free food, people still not showing up in crazy numbers. Like what does that say? Like
it says a lot. He does make a good point.
That's a good point. That's a very good point, Felicia. Okay, so are you guys ready to see a video that I received from inside Iran?
Exclusive content, folks. You're getting it right here. Liberty
Yes,
Politics.
and guys, I posted this on my X account. So once I show this, if you think it's worthy of being spread around, I would love it if you guys do spread it around. So first I'm going to play it, then I'm going to explain it because it's very important. Okay, so here.
As at Armin Novabi on X. So follow.
Yes, let me play this.
این بار شما در مرکز هدف ما قرار دارید. ما منتظر کمک دیگران نیستیم. و در آنجایی که انتظارش نداریم منتظر شما هستیم. پاینده ایران جاوید شاه.
So guys, this is from Iran, and these are Iranians who are, by the way, YouTube, I'm just reporting this. This is just the news. I'm not suggesting people do anything. Yeah, these are real. These are Iranians using drones, getting ready with drones, and they sent this to me to share with you guys. And they're also proving that they're inside Iran by showing their map. You see? Like this is Jarud, this is Paradis, this is Jarud, and they show exactly where they are on the map to prove that this is from inside Iran. Okay, and then
these are hobbyists demonstrating a love for a hobby of a drone.
No. These are freedom fighters, but I'm just saying these are freedom fighters that are suggesting that they are not going to wait for people outside to arm them. Right? So let me tell you. I'll translate what they say. So like now, from now on, you're going to be the center of our target. We're not going to wait for other people's help. So basically, we went from the campaign of Arm Us campaign to them saying that we could arm ourselves. Like we're not going to wait for people to arm us.
منتظر شما هستیم.
And he's saying to their enemies that wherever in places that you're not expecting us, we will be there. We will be there waiting for you.
پاینده ایران جاوید شاه.
And then Payende Iran Javid Shah. Long live Iran, long live the king. So guys, this video, the people who made this video, first of all, not only they took a lot of risk in making this video and sending it to me, they sent it to me on Telegram, right? They also took a lot of risk by showing their phone screen, okay, and showing exactly where they did this. So this is a huge risk. And given that they did what they needed to do to fight for a free run and to show their readiness, this is not going to just this could inspire many people, right? I don't know, inspire them to do what, but it could inspire many other people. So given that these people took so much risk to send this video to me, I would appreciate it if you went and retweeted it. I'm going to put the link to this video in the chat. For people who are watching this later, this is on my X account, Armin Navabi. It would mean a lot if you guys could just go do two things. First of all, retweet it and also send it to other big accounts that you think would be interested in retweeting this and highlighting this. Okay, I'll put the link to this in the chat one more time because this is a big deal.
I'd like to point out that this is very important if you're going to protest, if you're going to, go out in the streets. It's important to know the layout. You have to be able to see if you're about to get shot, because these people do get shot in the street, right? So if you have a bird's eye view of where people are coming from, if they're coming to, where to send the crowd. Hey guys, let's not go this way, let's go that way. To make sure you don't get bottlenecked, to see movements of beyond what you could see at the street level. So I understand that this has a lot of defensive, like some people might also say offensive, but in a defensive capacity, it could also be a framing, right? So we're not encouraging anyone to like do anything, but we're just showing you that this is important things to have, even in a defensive capacity, and it would be very needed to have this kind of thing if you're going to go out into the streets. Like, you can't just go out there and your only perspective cannot be the street level view, because that gets you boxed in.
Yeah, guys, and also this is basically the Iranian people finding ways to get to a point where they could fight the Islamic Republic even without getting armed out from outside, like not waiting for anything, just trying to figure this out themselves. So if you support that idea, please support that video. Please go ahead and share it, and also go to your favorite content creators with like millions of followers and send them the link to this video and ask them to please, repost it or talk about it on their show. Like, go to their live chat, maybe like tell them, give them a super chat or something, tell them like, hey, check this out, this is important, this is the Iranian people finding new ways to fight back. I would very much appreciate if you guys could do this, because these are Iranian freedom fighters and they do need your support, right? Thank you for anybody who's doing that. Okay, let me go to, what do you think? Do you think of this update?
Look, I think it's strategically necessary. All right, I'm retweeting it right now from my Monkey account. I did make a Monkey account on X, and this is one supportive Monkey. I want to show my support. This will be my first retweet. I haven't tweeted anything. I've just been hearting things and putting them. So this will be my first one officially on the account. It's going to be a retweet of this. And I'm also going to pin it. I'm going to make sure I pin it on the account so that, oh, wait a minute. I think I accidentally might have shared other stuff. This is not supposed to be here. Anyway, I'm going to pin it and make sure I'm not mixing my accounts accidentally. How do I pin a tweet? Oh my God. Anyway, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mute myself while I do it.
Wait, where is your account? I'm trying to find it. Motorpool Grease Monkey. If I share for that, would it show up on X? No, it doesn't show up. Oh, there we go. Found you. Oh, this is Monkey. Okay, I'm gonna be one of your original followers, one of your first followers.
Appreciate that.
Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm gonna put Monkey's X account in the chat as well if you guys want to go follow. Cool. Let me see. We got a super chat saying by Captain Kush saying 3D printers should be next to arm themselves. Yes, and we do have 3D printers in Iran, and there are private companies who sell them. So that's another thing that they could do. But I mean, they could do like we're not saying they should do that. YouTube. This is somebody in the chat who is saying they should do that. That's their opinion, and we think that whatever happens, happens. Okay. We're not telling anybody what to do. Okay, we're not recommending this. Our channel's position is not at all to tell people what to do when it comes to fighting for their freedom against an Islamic tyranny inside Iran. Whatever they do is their business. We're reading other people's opinions, and we're also reporting what other people's opinions are, and we're also reporting what is happening inside Iran. That's what we're doing. Got to be careful with these things.
I mean, 3D printers are a good thing. You could fix stuff in your house. You could make stuff for your. You don't have to like. There's a lot of good uses. Like for a 3D printer, yeah, it's a good thing to have, especially in a closed economy. These people are basically not able to acquire most common household goods without going through the IRGC monopoly, through their oligarchy, where they have their fingers in every pot of commerce. So, whatever you can do to get by is a good thing. Like, I also would put forward that 3D printers are a good technology just for household items. Like if you need to make a lamp or whatever to hold a light bulb in, that might be great.
Right. Okay. Let me just give you some interesting, before I want to go to President Trump. With some recent statements about Iran. But before I do that, I do want to tell you something interesting is happening from inside Iran. Watch this.
امروز پاسداری خون آقا از انتقام آقا مهمتره چون آقا 47 سال زحمت کشیده.
He's saying that today defending the blood of the supreme leader is more important than getting revenge for the blood of the supreme leader. This is, by the way, this is being posted by Fars News, which is an IRGC affiliated media. So look at the series of videos here. It looks like they are promoting the idea that we shouldn't get revenge for the blood of the supreme leader. There are other things to do. Right, there are other better and more important things to do. So I think they're coping over the fact that they can't get revenge for the blood of the supreme leader. So they're showing interviews of people saying like guarding the blood of the supreme leader is more important than getting revenge for the blood.
So wait a minute, they want more support. Like they're saying we support is more important than revenge. We need your support here. Like, why are it so empty? Right now, we need your support, not just revenge. Revenge, yeah, but why aren't you showing up?
So this is interesting because this is IRGC, right? It seems like Alibaba is winning in convincing parts of IRGC to give up on to tone it down on this revenge narrative because they can't. So to tone it to basically slowly get some parts of the IRGC to walk back against this, because the revenge narrative is the anti-MOU, anti-negotiation narrative, right? So you have one side pushing for negotiation, MOU, ceasefire, the other side getting revenge for the blood of the supreme leader. And now that you're seeing an IRGC affiliated media, people are like, well, guarding by guarding the blood of the supreme leader means guarding the values of the supreme leader is more important than revenge. It means like basically trying to tone it down on revenge. So let's see what the other people are saying.
سال زحمت کشیده مثل حضرت سید الشهدا راهش رو ادامه بدن. انتقام یعنی این.
Like we should basically continue his path. That would be our revenge. So basically living a life based on his values, that would be the ultimate revenge.
Is
so
this like like a version of, oh, even if we have to let gays in, you know, that's important. The important thing is that this continues, like a little like that, but a more conservative version.
No, it's more like the best revenge is living a good life. That's what.
Oh,
it is.
okay.
Yes. So like if we live like guys, if we live like continue the path of our supreme leader, that would be the ultimate revenge. So this basically is coping over the fact that they can't kill President Trump and Prime Minister Netanyahu, and they're just basically going with like, you know, they will hate it even more if we just live Islamic lives. Like that would really hurt them more. So something like that, right?
همین جوری که 1400 سال از شهادت حسین ابن علی گذشته و راهش ادامه پیدا کرده، راه اینم همین انتقامه.
So, you know, like they killed Hussein 1400 years ago, and what we did is we continued the path of Hussein. So because they never actually managed to get revenge for Yazid killing Hussein, right? So like just like that, now we need to continuing the path of our supreme leader. So let's see what this guy is saying.
خواهی آقا رو فقط باید پیرو آسد مجتبی باشین، رهبر امام عزیزمون. اگر کسی پیروی از ولایت بکنه، خونخواهی میسر شدش، فراهم شده.
He's saying the same thing. Is like the way to get revenge for our supreme leader is to follow his path, like basically follow his teachings. And if we just follow his teaching, the revenge has already happened.
This is Durga quote, like, you know, hey, no, everything's fine.
Yeah. Right. Oh my God. He's saying I haven't cried for 4 months because I didn't want to make our enemies happy. So he's like the supreme leader was killed and I didn't cry for 4 months because I want to make sure that our enemies don't see our tears and get that.
That's very un-Shia, right?
Yeah, I know, right? So he's saying I'm not going to cry here as well because international cameras will record it. Like for crying, we will go to Karbala, we will cry over there, not over here. Like she's saying for the revenge, we will just ask our Imam Hussein in Karbala to get the revenge for us. So they're basically giving up on doing anything to America and Israel themselves. They're just going to go pray about it. That's what they're saying.
Good. Go pray about it.
Oh my God, yes.
Maybe they'll find Jesus.
Okay. Hey, we got our goal. Thank you, guys. Shana with the super chat saying Minecraft Persians should download instructions for fireworks so they can celebrate Independence Day with us in Minecraft. Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what she's referring to? I think, Shana, are you referring to the Minecraft revenge?
Yes, because in Minecraft you can create different objects that have effects. Like you can create fireworks, you can create boats, you can create mechanical things. It's a great game.
Yeah, but guys, I know when we say in Minecraft, that's a joke or a way to get around it. You know, YouTube, algorithm and stuff like that, right? But this is not a joke. I mean, it is a joke, but it's actually real within this. Did you see this, Monkey? We showed this yesterday. The Islamic Republic is showing on TV for people to go actually get revenge for the killing of the supreme leader in Minecraft. Like, I know we say that as a joke, but they are serious about this. Did you see this? This is on TV. So
no, I wasn't joking. YouTube, we're all seriously talking about Minecraft.
Okay, no, so but look at this. This was on TV in Iran by the Islamic Republic, and they're saying Amaliyat Intiqam در Minecraft. So revenge operations in Minecraft. That's the title, right? And it says با استفاده از ایده و خلاقیت خودت در دنیای ماینکرافت انتقام رهبر شهیدمون رو از آمریکا و اسرائیل جنایتکار بگیر و فیلمش رو از طریق بسترهای مجازی برامون ارسال کن. So it's saying go in Minecraft, use your creativity and your own ideas and creativity to go get revenge for our martyred supreme leader in Minecraft, against United States and Israel. Against the criminal United States and Israel. Go get revenge of them in Minecraft, and then record it and send the video of it on social media to us, right? And there
may be a segment that, like, the cultural attaché, the department that deals with that, is saying, look, these people think that Minecraft is a very important battle space in the cyber war. All the podcasters say in Minecraft, all the YouTubers say in Minecraft, they say it on Twitch, they keep saying that they're doing things in Minecraft. We got to start doing stuff in Minecraft too. We have to move into this battle space, and we have to take it very, very, super serious. And that might be what's happening here.
Yes, but they also have this video as an example. So they're telling people to take their revenge on Minecraft. And they're saying this is a video of somebody who sent their Minecraft revenge to the Islamic Republic. And you can see who this person was. It was an 11-year-old boy from Esfahan, and his name is Muhammad Mateen Sepehri. So Muhammad, 11-year-old boy, I don't know what this... have you ever played Minecraft? I don't know what he's doing here. But
I haven't. My little girl loves it, but I haven't.
Okay, so if anybody could figure out what type of a revenge this is, and against this looks like an enrichment uranium operation. I don't know what's happening here, but if anybody could tell us, that would be great. Anyway, so we have people saying that you could, to get revenge from United States and Israel, you could just live an Islamic life. Then there's another then we have this coping mechanism to just go get the revenge in Minecraft. But then we have some people who are upset. This lady is with a diaper hanging down her hijab for some reason, is saying that shut up, don't tell us what revenge looks like, right? Don't redefine revenge to us. So somebody put Ghalibaf's video at the beginning and then put this is at State TV. This is the State TV. So you can see the division. Some people are saying like the real revenge is this, real revenge is that. And this woman is saying like, no, real revenge is killing these people. So let me just play this.
اگر ما خون خواهیم که انشالله هستیم همه این ملت خونخواهی امام رو بخوایم خونخواهی امام آزادی قدسه.
So he's saying that if we truly want to get revenge for our supreme leader, the real revenge for our supreme leader is to liberate Jerusalem. And he cries about
so
it.
Who is this guy? He looks familiar.
Yes, he's Ghalibaf, the main guy apparently. Yes, the main guy in charge apparently of the Islamic Republic. So
the main fake crier.
By the way, yeah, he's a really good fake crier. He just cried here as well. It's like the real revenge for the supreme leader is liberating Jerusalem. By the way, what he means is that the Mahdi will come one day and he will liberate Jerusalem, and that would be the real revenge. That's what he means right here.
So he's saying,
this
wait.
woman, yeah, he's saying like, yeah, wait another 1400 years or whatever. So, but this woman answers this types of narrative from within the Islamic Republic, and he's basically telling these people to shut the F up. Watch this.
اگر ما خون خواهیم که انشالله هستیم همه این ملت خونخواهی امام رو بخوایم خونخواهی امام آزادی قدسه.
هیچ قدرتی هیچ کس نمیتونه در مقابل مطالبه به حق مردم کوتاه بیاد به ایسته یا مقاومت بکنه.
Like he's saying no power is going to be able to stand in the way of the justified demand of the people for revenge, right? So she's threatening the higher powers. I think she's referring to Ghalibaf.
و هیچ کس هم برای ما تعریف نکنه. این رو برای چندمین بار عرض میکنم.
And nobody should define to us what revenge means.
هیچ کس برای ما تعریف نکنه انتقام رهبر یعنی چه.
Nobody should come and define to us what revenge for the supreme leader means.
انتقام خون رهبر شهید ما خروج آمریکا از منطقه، تضعیف دلار و نابودی اسرائیل.
So he's saying revenge for the blood of our supreme leader are these things. The Americans leaving this entire region, the fall of the US dollar, and the destruction of Israel.
درصد همینطور هست. اما قصاص
This is 100%.
قاتلان به جای خود.
and also the killing of the people who killed the supreme leader. So she's saying that the powers that be, the people higher up, should stop telling the pro-regime Iranian people who want revenge. They should stop being in their way. They will not be able to stop us from getting their revenge, and they should not be redefine what revenge means to us. Revenge means the fall of the US dollar, the kicking out Americans out of this region, the absolute destruction of Israel, and the killing of the people who killed the supreme leader. That's her definition.
Well, how much of an insider is she? Because all the thing that they hold is mostly U.S. dollars. Like if the U.S. dollar falls, that's most of their money falling, because that's how they hold. Like that's what they have stacks of at home. She's like, some people are gonna be like, "Shut up! What are you talking about?" No. like at least some people. But I think that the diaper, like some people in the chat are pointing out, the diaper is because she's talking a lot of shit, and that's why the diaper's there.
That does look like a diaper, doesn't it? Like that's where the poop goes. That's exactly where this is the area where isn't it? Or am I?
I think either that or she's dressed like a pirate underneath there with a lot of flourishes.
Oh my god!
She's gonna go board a ship with the Houthis after this, dressed like a pirate.
Yeah. Okay, Fleshy, thank you so much for the super chat. Saying freedom popcorn confetti, yay! Thank you. Yes, we got to our goal. We got confetti in the chat. Thank you, Fleshy. Thank you. And Sayed with a super chat saying these Durkers are so idiot that I don't think they can even do it in Minecraft. Not even in Minecraft.
Look, I'm gonna be real with you. There is some credence to this. Like if any adults have seen the kind of things that their kids can make in Minecraft, these complex train systems and these mechanisms that are self-perpetuating, I think they are too stupid to operate in that field. I think there's a lot of he's spitting facts right here. Syed is right. Like I think Syed knows what he's talking about.
He does. Yeah. Okay, hold it. Let me go over here. Okay, so let's go to President Trump's most recent, and by recent I mean like just a few hours ago, comments regarding Iran. This is interesting. Should be interesting.
Out there, Navy, their Air Force, their radar, their leaders would wiped out everybody. And then I heard they're doing very well. No, they're not doing well at all. They want to make a deal so badly. But we'll see what happens. They have to make the right deal because they cannot have a nuclear weapon. They cannot have a nuclear weapon. It's very simple. Out there.
So again, so nothing new here, but I do think that President Trump should say they cannot enrich uranium. I don't like it, to be honest, when he says they can't have a nuclear weapon, because having, of course they shouldn't have a nuclear weapon, but what does that really mean? Like, are we going to just
it means they're never going to sign the deal?
No. Here's the thing. I want President Trump to say they're never going to enrich uranium, not they're never going to have a nuclear weapon, because that keeps the door open for agreements that they will not have a nuclear weapon and still enrich uranium. You know what I mean?
So that opens the door to the Obama agreement.
Yes, exactly. Do you see? There's a major difference in the language here. And I think it would be much more helpful if he just kept saying we're not going to allow them to enrich even the tiniest amount of uranium, like not even 1%.
Look, I take it down to nuclear power. They cannot have nuclear power. They have to redo whatever electrical systems they have so they work without nuclear power. Or, we can supply nuclear power for a short time, but they need to delink from that and find other ways to power themselves. They got a lot of oil, so they could use that. But, I think we should just close down the power plants because you're not even using that anymore. It's been an excuse for you to enrich. It was an excuse to do a lot.
It was always an excuse, it was always an excuse for a nuclear weapon. And I think the United States should copy their method, their enriching of uranium for electricity was always an excuse to get nuclear weapons, and the United States should use the excuse of you will never have enrichment of uranium as an excuse to just get rid of the Islamic Republic. Because if you insist that you can never have enriched uranium, then that's an excuse to just completely get rid of the Islamic Republic, because that would be their only deterrence capability, right?
Well, he has said so many times. He has said that. He has said they can't enrich. He has gone against the JCPOA. He said the JCPOA allowed them to enrich, and the JCPOA problem is that it allowed them to enrich. I'm not doing an Obama deal where they can enrich. Like, he has insisted of this. I've seen it myself.
Yeah, but he hasn't been insisting on not enriching uranium. He's been insisting on them not having a nuclear weapon. And I know
what's the timeline here? Like in the last month or ever? Because I have seen him insist that they can't.
Yeah, and since the ceasefire.
Okay, that's a very short time frame. Like, maybe he's just doing this during the negotiation or whatever, trying to give because maybe. If we're gonna look over the years, he's been like, if you've been against it for 5 years. And now you're not talking about it, we're not going to assume that he changed his mind about that thing. It might just be a thing that he's doing during the 60-day MOU ceasefire.
I hope so. That's what I'm hoping for, right? But I just want to keep pushing for it, because we can't assume what they mean, right? You might be right, but I think it makes it important for us to keep pressuring for maximum anti-Islamic Republic, because it might be true, it might not be true, and it does make sense for us to keep demanding the maximum.
Look, I support clarifications and requests for clarifications, and if that is done, if one of the reporters says, "Hey, are you saying they can enrich?" he might come and say, "No, of course not. They can't have a nuclear weapon, and they can't enrich. I was against the Obama deal." So that clarification coming from a reporter had that question. It's a good question. I'm not against the clarification. Of course, I support the clarification.
Good. That's me too. All right, let's go to this next video from President Trump.
Oil is now at a level that it was, I think it's even lower on a barrel basis than it was before we started. We've gotten concessions. Now they have to hold those concessions, but there'll be no nuclear weapon. We're going to be getting the, as I call it, dust, the enriched material, nuclear dust, I call it. Seems to have taken off, but it's enriched material. We're getting it. We're getting it. I went in for one reason, very strongly, that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I'm not looking for regime change, although this is regime change. The first regime is gone. The second regime is gone. And I think the third regime is more reasonable, but we'll find out. But we've destroyed their, as you know, completely destroyed 150. They had 159 ships. Every single ship is at the bottom of the sea. We've completely destroyed. They don't have one airplane. They don't have radar.
Before we continue, I just want to make it very clear. There has not been regime change in Iran, right? Do you agree with that? Like that is not true. There has not been regime change in Iran.
There's been changes in leadership, not regime.
Yeah.
But we'll find out. But we've destroyed their, as you know, completely destroyed 150. They had 159 ships. Every single ship is at the bottom of the sea. We've completely destroyed. They don't have one airplane. They don't have radar. You know, one of the reasons we kept the oil down, because a lot of people said, Kevin, and a lot of people were saying that oil could go to $300, $350 a barrel. But one of the reasons that prediction wasn't right is we were taking out on average of 10, but sometimes less, sometimes more. 3 weeks ago, we had a night, 22 ships came out of the Strait, and the famous Strait of Hormuz, nobody ever heard of, but that is some big money machine. I'll tell you what, when you look at the numbers, Michael, that makes everything look small. No, wait. And we took out so much oil that people didn't know, and it was only took a month and a half. They finally found out they had no radar because their radar was destroyed. So we took them out late at night with no lights, with no nothing. And our great Navy, which did the greatest blockade anyone's ever seen, not one ship got through in 2 months. And we then freed up the blockade because we're close to maybe making a deal. I don't know. We'll make either. Look, we're going to win one way or the other. We're either going to make a deal or we're going to finish the job. Okay? And it won't be tough to finish the job. I'd rather make a deal because I don't want to affect 91 million people. We can knock down their bridges in 1 hour. We can knock out their energy supply, all of those big plants that they built, big, beautiful, modern plants. They had a lot of money. They don't have any money now. We haven't given them any money. But we can knock out their electricity and power generating plants in, I would say, a small part of an afternoon. Every plant will be gone. And they know that. They know that.
So one thing that is good is that he's insisting on the fact that they're going to get the enriched uranium. So there's no backtracking on that. That is good. I do prefer on top of talking about not getting the enriched uranium out, to add the point, and again, I know for a fact that that's something that they haven't clarified, to add the fact that they're going to have zero enrichment of uranium, because there was some suggestions that maybe they're going to allow them some enrichment of uranium. I do want more clarification on that, but I do think that the insistence on the fact that all the enriched uranium is going to come out is good. What do you think?
Well, I think he has clarified it many times. He hasn't done it in a month, maybe 2 months, but he has clarified it over 5 years, many, many times that they can't enrich. So you want more recent clarification. I understand that and I support it. We do want that clarification. I would push back against saying that he hasn't clarified that. I think he has clarified it many, many times. And I don't think they're going to accept the deal. I don't think they're going to accept the deal at all. I don't think they'll accept that enrichment, that they're not going to accept that the dust can be taken. I think that the deal is impossible. But if I wanted to bomb them, I would say I want to make a deal.
The reason why I think more recent clarifications are needed because strategies could change. And if you don't say that for a while, there would be an assumption that you are changing, your direction. That's why recent clarifications are needed.
I support the seeking of that clarification.
Right. Thank you. Okay, so Emily Schrader posted this. Prime Minister Netanyahu recently has a lot of videos talking to the media, and I wanted to see if there's any talks regarding him and President Trump, whether and their position on the Islamic Republic, and him clarifying whether the infighting is real or not real. So here, Emily posted this thing. Why is that the government is still standing in Iran? Bibi is saying because it has a few 100,000 goons who kill, murder in broad daylight and at night. They murder their own people. Okay, so this is the perfect answer because that's exactly why that's exactly the last thing that you need to remove for the Islamic Republic to fall. So let me play this.
We've had over 13,000 strikes on them. You've had over 8,000 strikes on them. Why is that government still standing?
Because it has a few 100,000 goons who kill, murder in broad daylight and at night. They murder their own people. They've murdered.
We've had over 13,000 strikes on them.
Okay, what do you think? I think that's a great recognition of the main reason. The main reason why Islamic Republic gets to continue. Like that's a really accurate. The first thing that he went to, when you say that the reason why the Islamic Republic is still standing is that it could shoot into unarmed civilians who are rising up against the regime, that's the reason why it's standing. That's also an admission that the greatest force and the only solution to the fall of Islamic Republic is to support the Iranian people's uprising against the regime. Do you agree with that?
Yes, and I have good news from the Times of Israel. Now that we have Bibi here, from Reuters, from PBS, from Al Jazeera, and from the Times of Israel, all reporting that the most recent time that the president said they cannot enrich uranium is today. So you have your clarification today.
Send it to me. Send it.
Yes, sure.
Link. Do you have a video?
I have reports from Reuters. I have the links to Reuters, Times of Israel.
No, Times of Israel is good, but is there a video? It's okay.
Yes,
Times of
yes.
Israel.
He's like on a plane. Let me send it to you by Telegram. Well, I'm gonna mute myself.
Thank you. All right, while we do that, let's go to the next BB June. Oh, we got a super chat saying Armin Monkey is not too bright. You're losing credit. No, Monkey is very bright. Monkey is very informed. He's a lot more informed on US politics than I am, and I'm not going to let you divide us. I love the Monkey, and I learned a lot from him. And you losing credit. More people are supporting us because of Monkey than before, and if I'm losing credit to you, I don't care. I rather support my Monkey over here than you. And you,
I am a good monkey, and I'm a barrel of laughs.
Yes, guys, people in the chat, can you respond to Richard? Do you like the Monkey? Do you like our Monkey? Do you like our Liberty Monkey, the Grease Monkey? So just because you don't, so first of all, you know who's not too bright, Richard? You're not too bright, because you think because you don't like somebody, like, do you have data? Do you have information? Do you have evidence for your claim? You use your personal feelings to judge what other people think. That is a fallacy. Okay, for you to project your own feelings on somebody upon other people without, did you do a study? Did you ask people? Did you had a poll? You didn't, right? So, you know, one thing I appreciate about Monkey is he's very empirical. He's looking for evidence. He's not based on feelings. Unlike you, who you use your own feelings to try to come up with a more general understanding of what's happening. Monkey always looks for evidence. He always, when he sees an argument, he's like, oh, these people are using their feelings. What is the data? Where is the numbers? Where are the evidence? So he goes based on empirical data and evidence, and you go based on your feelings. So he's actually a very bright monkey. And you're the one who's not very bright, who's using his own personal feelings as a way to judge what other people think. You're the one who's not so bright. But I have good news for you. I'm giving you this as a friendly feedback for you to understand your own logical fallacies and maybe become better at this. Okay, I know you're not very bright, but you can be better if you actually take if you don't get hurt by me telling you that you're not very bright and you're not very smart, and giving you this feedback. If you don't get butthurt over it and try to get better, you can actually start becoming as bright as our monkey over here. Maybe one day you would be as evidence-based and based on empirical data as he is. Good luck.
Empirical data. So easy, even a monkey can do it. And speaking of empirical data, I want to thank the 1,300 people here, close to 350 now. I want to thank you for being here. I think it's very obvious that there is support for this channel. Like, if people would hate me or hate what I'm saying here, they would have left. They would have left, but they are here. So if we're looking at empirical evidence, a live stream with nearly 1,350 viewers right now, it keeps climbing, is a good thing. Like, it's hard to deny.
Yeah, and also look at all the data, all the people here saying that they like the monkey. The chat got filled with people who like the monkey. Oh, he's giving us another super chat saying Puerto Rico has one representative in Congress. She's a Democrat.
That's a lie. That's a lie. That's an absolute lie. You're not a representative if you can't vote on anything.
Yeah, we read that in non-voting.
Non-voting, yeah.
Yes. So you just lost credibility.
That's not representation. You're just making up things because you don't like me. And that's fine. You don't have to like me, you know.
Right.
You just don't like that I have I have my bananas. It's big banana, beautiful banana, and you can't have it. You have banana envy.
Hold on, let me see. We actually said that when we were talking about that. So this person wasn't even listening.
I think it's par for the course. I think he probably does not listen very well.
Yeah, so yes, Puerto Rico's representative is a non-voting member of the U.S. House of Representatives. So there you go. So we know he knows what you're talking about, and you're clueless. Anyways, let's go to. Wow, that was embarrassing for you. Okay, let's go to this next BB video.
Look, Turkey is a great country, but it's governed by a man who calls openly for the annihilation of Israel. He occupies.
Oh, they're talking about Turkey. Holy crap! This is a difference between President Trump and Bibi, because President Trump is really supporting Erdogan, and he supports him a lot, and he really likes him, and he's increasing working with him. But Israel is against Turkey, and Erdogan, I mean, not against Turkey, against Erdogan, and Erdogan constantly threatens Israel and puts calls out for liberations of Jerusalem out there, right? So Erdogan is a big enemy of Israel, and President Trump keeps supporting him. So let's see what Bibi is saying in response to that.
Look, Turkey is a great country, but it's governed by a man who calls openly for the annihilation of Israel. He occupies half of Cyprus, a NATO country. He's threatening Greece, another NATO country, and he talks openly about conquering Jerusalem. His foreign minister, his number two, said that the Jewish state hasn't a place among humanity. Basically, it has to be wiped out. His interior minister, said he looks forward to be the governor of Jerusalem. Well, for a regime infected by the Muslim Brotherhood, an extreme movement that hates America and chants death to America from that side of the spectrum, I don't think they should be given F-35s or the engines for their fighter jets, because that'll upset the power balance in the Middle East, which is ultimately guaranteed by Israeli air superiority and also by, I think, by America's posture in the Middle East.
Yeah, I completely disagree with President Trump on this, that he's selling F-35s to Turkey, making Israel losing its air dominance in that region. I do disagree with President Trump doing this. What do you think?
I strongly disagree. Like, I understand that we have new fighters coming up and that technology is not going to be our newest technology. We only sell technology that we ourselves can defeat. But it is a very strong technology, a technology that I will not give to Turkey, because Turkey plays footsie with Russia. I don't know if it's Erdogan or if it's like a lot of political leadership, but everybody knows that Turkey plays footsie with Russia. They have like the kind of like, a relation that's a little bit too close for comfort. So I would not allow Russia to get that technology. The Chinese are a little bit more incompetent when it comes to copying, but the Russians are very adept to copying technology. So I would not allow it to fall in the hands of China or Russia. China would just probably send it to Russia to help get the blueprints. But having this technology in the hands of Turkey is basically like giving it to Russia. Like, that would be my criticism. People say I worship Trump or the MAGA worships Trump. No, we have the strongest criticism, the real criticism. Not he's an orange Cheeto that wants to take over. No. I would strongly criticize this action from a military standpoint.
I am so proud of you, Monkey. You know, this is why I love you, because you are a Trump supporter and you had a strong criticism for Trump over here. So this is a very great demonstration that the idea that Trump supporters are like cultish followers of him, you know, all of them are like that. This is a this is a demonstration. Why are you angry? Did you press the 2 button by mistake? Oh, no. Okay, there you go. You're smiling.
I was replying to Fleshy Interloper. He was making a comment. I didn't want to bring it up. Look, Piker does think like he does think. I just wanted to point that out. Okay. Now you know, Fleshy. Let's not interrupt this anymore. Let's go back to what Armin was putting out here for us.
Okay. You have to change the short when it comes to responding to people. You need to change the shortcut because you get angry every time you press.
I know. I'm sorry. Look, I'm just a monkey.
That's okay. People are like, why you get angry all of a sudden? You change the shortcut. Okay, so let me see. Is this another video or is this the same here?
So why would we give them an opportunity to plot and plan against it? And lastly, they're also financing Hamas, and you guys know that. So they might have helped, but they're financing Hamas, right?
They finance Hamas. They harbor Hamas. They roll out the red carpet for Hamas. They're in fact supporting the bad guys.
So why would we give them an opportunity?
Yeah, so Turkey supports Hamas. Turkey supports Muslim Brotherhood. Turkey wants to annihilate Israel. They say that themselves. I mean, the government there. So beyond, giving them F-35s, Monkey, you're more concerned about their connection to Russia. I'm more concerned about this power in the region being a competition and against Israel, and Israel losing its air dominance in the region because of United States supporting a government that directly supported October 7th. Like, we are praising, the United States is officially in a position where they are praising the man that supports October 7th. That is, I don't know, that's crazy.
I think it's look, I said it already.
Yeah,
it's stupid. It's stupid. I'm not gonna like Walmart. I'm gonna Walmart American down. It's stupid to give Turkey these kind of weapons. It's stupid to give it. It's the same thing as giving it to Russia. It's fucking stupid. I can't dress it down more. I'm not gonna put some fancy flowery purple language around it. I'm gonna break it down for you guys. It's stupid. You should not do that.
So I'm going to also criticize Israel over all of this. Okay. I love Israel, by the way. I'm Israel Khan. Okay. So Israel did a good thing, but they did it. But I'm going to criticize them for doing it too late. Okay. Because of all of this recent stuff that is happening with Turkey, Israel finally came out and acknowledged and accepted the Armenian genocide. Okay. So better late than never. But I am disappointed in Israel because Israel is supposed to be the country that the most against genocide because of their foundation and their history, right? And instead of making a principlist approach of we acknowledge genocides and we take a position against all genocide everywhere, they only now recognize the Armenian genocide because it's politically convenient now as a move against Turkey, not for the sake of the Armenian people. So Israel is recognizing the Armenian genocide not for the sake of the Armenian people, but only as a move against Turkey because of their recent statements against Israel. I wish Israel had a more principlist approach and acknowledged the Armenian genocide from the beginning, especially given their history with genocide. So see, I'm criticized. I love Israel, and I think this is a fair criticism of Israel. Oh, look at the Israelis in the chat agree with me. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Okay. See, okay.
I think we have a
Richard
super chat.
Yes, but Richard, do you want to read this? Because I think this is addressed to you.
The Dems want statehood. No, the Dems rejected statehood. Obama rejected statehood. The Democratic Party in Puerto Rico rejects statehood. The Democratic in Puerto Rico is for continuing the relationship as is. You don't know what you're talking about. The Dems want statehood. The whole Democratic Party in Puerto Rico is absolutely against statehood. That is one of their foundational principles. Their foundational principles is we don't want to be a state. We don't want to be outside of our relationship with USA. We like the relationship the way it is. We don't want to be a state. So you don't know what the hell you're talking about. Everyone that wants statehood in Puerto Rico is GOP, and that is why the DNC blocks our path to statehood, because they don't want us to be represented with vote in Congress and the Senate, because we are so conservative. We're mostly Christian. We have a great relationship with Jewish people, and that's what they are afraid of. They are afraid of a voting bloc that's mostly Christians. That's what they're afraid of. They know damn well that we are not going to go with a lot of the crazy leftist policy, which is why they maintain a DNC in Puerto Rico that is against statehood. It is one of their foundational principles of Democrats in Puerto Rico is that they don't want to be a state. They don't want to be apart from the United States. They want to have the relationship as it's. It's basically status quo. The Democrat Party represents status quo. That is the relationship. If you are listening to some stupid pundit that's talking about Puerto Rico like this guy is regurgitating and saying, no, let's make them a state. I wish you would. I wish you would. You will understand why Obama doesn't want us to be a state, why Hillary doesn't want us to be a state, why Clinton doesn't want us to be a state. Because every time that a vote for statehood comes up, the only way to vote for statehood is to be under the GOP. Like, you can vote for it, but that is the platform of the GOP in Puerto Rico is, hey, come over, be a state. Have equal representation. That's what the GOP means to Puerto Rico. The G in Puerto Rico represents equality under the law. The GOP in Puerto Rico represents, you should have representation. That's what the GOP symbolizes. This guy doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
He's saying I'm talking about American Democrats.
I don't give a fuck about American Democrats. They don't get to vote if we become a state or not.
Okay.
American Democrats don't know what the hell they're talking about. Obviously, like you.
Right. I need to go to the next BB video because the next one is very important. It's about the relationship with Trump, because we're waiting to see. We want to know if all the fighting, how significant it is. Are they friends? Are BB and Trump friends or not? By the way, Monkey, you were smiling throughout that chimp out. You need to get better with switching faces. Look, it didn't make it made no sense. Like you were chimping out and you were smiling. You need to you should have switched to
this was in my heart. Okay, this is the face that was in my heart when I spoke. I didn't express it outwardly because I don't want this person to think they're getting to me. But you know what? In my heart, I was a little miffed.
No, but switch it up better, okay? So when you're chimping out, like switch it, okay? Then chimp out, okay?
I will.
So okay, thank you. Thanks. Okay. Let's see what BB is saying about his relationship with Trump.
Well, first of all, we see eye to eye on just about everything. And sometimes, as happens among the best of allies, and we are the best of allies, there can be differences of opinion. We usually speak about it in open conversation. You can imagine the president has his way of expressing things, and so do I. But we are, we're allies. We're your model ally. Well, first.
Oh, we're your model ally. I like that. Do you agree with that, Monkey? Like, there is no ally of the United States that is better at being an ally to the United States than Israel. Is there any? Like, am I wrong about that? Like, can anybody think of any better ally to the United States? It's the model ally.
I think the UK is not doing a great job. I mean, that would be the closest. Aside from Israel, you'd have to say Israel and UK are the closest, right? If you had to if you had to pick two, those would be the two. But Israel is demonstrating more willingness to work with US on goals, and the UK is not. So if I had to pick two, those would be the two. But Israel is going above the UK in helping us on shared goals.
Yeah. So if United States needs to be nice to Israel, because it makes no strategic sense to be not nice to Israel, because the United States is a superpower. A huge part of it is because of its connection to other countries and its allies all around the world, right? So if you have a country that is being the best at being your ally, you need to demonstrate to other countries what happens to you when this works both ways. When you have an enemy state, you need to punish them severely. So your other enemies, if they come at you, you need to punish them severely to demonstrate your deterrence capability, so that your other enemies know what's going to happen to them if they try to do the same. But it also works the other way around. When you have a country that is your number one ally and it's your model ally, you need to demonstrate to other allies of the United States what would happen to them if they become more like your model ally. You need to demonstrate that this is what you get for being a U.S. ally. So this is why supporting Israel, there are many reasons. Like, I have a huge list of reasons for why supporting Israel is America first and it benefits America. But among all those other reasons that I've already given you so many times, here's another reason: to advertise to your other allies what you get for being a U.S. ally, for what you get when you behave more like Israel.
Look, I will speak on this in this sense. A UK, maybe since the aughts, around the time of 9/11, they were good then. Since then, it's gone down dramatically. What does Israel do for us? We give them a discount. That's what we give them. We don't give them pallets of money. This IPAC stuff is crazy. Like Qatar and China spend billions in influence. Israel isn't doing that. and we give them a discount. For that small discount, that meager discount of like 10 to 15% on billions of dollars that they buy in weapons. So they're giving us money. We give them a little discount in exchange for that discount, and maybe they do it anyways, which is one of the reasons they want to, the BB particularly wants to get rid of the discount. It's like, don't even give me a discount, right? And we're going to continue the relationship as is without the discount. What we're getting is most of the time, we don't have to go into the Middle East. Most of the time, we don't need to send our carriers. Most of the times, we don't need to have the Marines or the Army protecting the oil pipes, the oil shipping, and the container shipping. We don't have to protect all the commerce, right? Israel is our partner in the region that while it protects its own commerce, also protects ours. So the savings that we get from not having to send our own ships to take care of this, our own military to take this over the last, I don't know how many years, 30, 40, 50 years. I can't even count up, since for however long we have been providing weapons, this has been one of the greatest deals ever because we save on blood because they will shed their blood to protect themselves, right? We don't have to share our blood because we have this, we're just going to help them protect themselves, and they help us keep the commerce working as it should. And because we have such a free market, it helps us because that commerce is something that we benefit from. So there's a mutual benefit. They have a self-interest that aligns with our interest, and that's how it should be. Every nation should have their self-interest, and where their self-interest aligns with our self-interest, we unite. That's what a good partner does. They're a great partner.
Okay, let's go to more. So here BB is talking about Lebanon.
Ask you about that next. But just to put a pin in this piece of the conversation, what do you say to critics who argue that Israel has embraced sort of a permanent state of war, and that there's not really an end game here, because they point to places like Gaza and say that Hamas, is still in power. They haven't laid down their arms. What do you say to those critics who accuse Israel of being in a permanent state of war?
Well, we're not in a permanent state of war. I myself, with President Trump, we brought forth 4 peace deals. That's what we did. It's the Abraham Accords. And I believe with the weakening of Iran, which has been achieved by our common action, our common military action, I think we're going to get more because countries would like to align with us and to protect their future and also their prosperity. Israel is a powerhouse. I mean, it's an engine of innovation, of AI, of quantum, of just of everything. So I don't see that. But I'll tell you one thing. I think that the Lebanon deal has shown that we have more cards to play. Lebanon would like to free itself of Hezbollah, these Hezbollah terrorists who are, making their life miserable. And it's not only the Christians in Lebanon who ask for our protection. It's the Druze, it's Muslims, the Sunni Muslims, and quite a few of the Shiite Muslims too. So they'd like to free Lebanon. I hope we can get more peace deals. And I can tell you, if you want to have peace, you better be able to protect yourself against those who want to annihilate you. We do that. But in defending ourselves, we're defending our common civilization, the people who chant death to America. Last point, Jackie.
What this lady keeps saying, like the Prime Minister of Israel is speaking. Where do you have to be somewhere? Like, I know you have ads and stuff, but like, it's the Prime Minister of Israel. She's like, okay, like hurry up. Like,
I'll give her some grace. There's probably a guy in her ear saying, okay, we have to cut to the next thing, blah, blah, blah.
I know.
Try to cut him off respectfully.
I'm gonna.
I wish they'd let him go though.
I'm criticizing the guy in her ear then, okay? Like it's the Prime Minister of Israel. Like you could cut into your ad segments. Like what do you like? Where do you have to be? Like,
producers, let BB pop off.
Let me just like okay, like stop talking. What the hell? Also, by the way, I think the best response to her would have been like, no country is more interested in peace than Israel, because we're surrounded by people who want to destroy us, and we don't want war. Every time, here's the best response to Israel wanting war and being always like looking for war. Israel has never started. There's 2 points you need to make when people say that. One, Israel has never started a war. Never in Israel's history have they ever started a war. Every single time that Israel has participated in war is because somebody else started a war against them and they're responding. So if we are always in a state of war, it's because people constantly attack us and we have to respond. That's why we are in a state of war. That's the first point. The second point that they need to make is that when there are so many people around you that want to kill you, peace is the number one thing you're trying to achieve. A country that is constantly being threatened with absolute annihilation is more interested in peace than any other country in the world. The reason why people think that you're not interested in peace when you're in war, because people don't know how you do get peace. People think you get peace by signing agreements and appeasing your enemies. People don't understand that you actually do get peace by destroying your enemies. That's how you get peace. And that's empirically has been proven in the history of war. You always got long-lasting peace, but not by ceasefire agreements, but by destroying the people who bring war. And that's what Israel does. Monkey got angry again.
Yeah, this dude is slinging slurs in the chat that I think like might go against the guidelines. Like, you know, I don't really care, but he's trying to do things to get the channel in trouble. I don't like that.
Who's that? Which account?
It's this guy. I wouldn't highlight, like specifically because of YouTube. I wouldn't highlight it, but it's why now 9722. Like personally, I don't care, but I know how YouTube is about these things. Look, I don't know. I'm just like, what the hell is going on with this guy? Why is he so angry? Because I love America, because I served the U.S. infantry, because we overwhelmingly have given our electoral votes to Trump. What is he, a Democrat? What's going on with this guy?
What is he saying? Like, you don't need to repeat it. Like, which community guidelines of YouTube can we give him?
The slurs, like when there's like words that are used to designate people from a place or a race, and like he's using that kind of thing. But I don't really care. I was just like, okay. I would be worried more about the channel than about my feelings. I know I'm a Trump supporter.
If he keeps using caps like that, I might ban him though.
Okay.
So if he keeps like, yeah, if you keep using caps, I might ban that account. So stop using the caps. He's a racist. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we have, there are racists come here. I mean, we have the Jew hater here often, so he's racist.
He must think that Puerto Ricans.
Okay. I'm going to ban you because I just specifically told you not to use caps, all caps, and you did, so I'm going to ban you. I just banned him.
Look, I want to be clear for the rest of the chat. I'm not a Trump hater. I have some very pointed criticisms, but if you align 100% with Trump, you'll never help him, right? You don't help people that if you can't point out constructive criticism, you're not helping. One of the ways that Armin helps me is with constructive criticism. Like he won't just, yell at me and tell me you're a stupid monkey. You're not getting no more bananas. No. He tells me you can work on this. You can work on that. Maybe change the keybinds. This is constructive criticism that I appreciate.
Wait, he was turning against you because you criticized Trump? He was like,
I don't know why he was acting like that. He doesn't want any Hispanics and my like dirty Hispanics, and he was like being extremely racist. I think he's trying to pretend to be like right wing, but he's actually more,
There are people. Like, let's be honest. There are people in the right that are racist like that.
Oh yeah, but that's the isolationist right wing that is Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, extremely, that sliver of they're not the majority. They're trying to spellbind the majority into their way of thinking, but that's not the majority.
Anyways, I didn't. By the way, just to be clear, guys, I didn't ban him for racism because we do want to let people with garbage ideas to be here and expose. I banned him for using all caps because, like, it gets more. If That's the reason why I banned him. And again, just using all caps once or twice or 3 times is not going to get you banned. But if you're just constantly just writing in all caps, that
and
will
a big
get you
block
banned.
messages, like he's basically hogging all the chat.
Yes. Basically, the chat becomes unusable to other people. Okay. So even if you want to have garbage ideas, that's not going to get you banned from our channel. But if you make the chat unusable to other people, that will get you banned. Yeah.
Also, it's a misunderstanding of what Puerto Ricans are. We do have very, very white, pale, albino Puerto Ricans, and we have very, very dark chocolate Puerto Ricans. I'm a mix, but it's not one color. It's like there's this misconception about Latinos that they're all just one color brown. No, we come in every color. We're mixed with Spaniards from Spain. We're mixed with African descendants. We're mixed with Native Americans. So you can't say Hispanics are one color or Latinos are one color. You're not even being a good racist, actually. You're just terrible at everything.
Oh, look at this. Amir with a beautiful chat saying, thanks to your patience, Armin. I'm still here too. I started pretty radical long ago. I deserve to be banned long ago. Amir, oh my God, I love Amir. And now you're an admin now. Thank you, Amir. And yeah, I love you, Amir. Thank you. And I know you still have so many disagreements with me, but you know I love you and you love me, and this is great. This is what
He actually does a lot of great contributions also. Like that should be known. Like Amir is helps a lot.
Oh, speaking of allowing racists in the chat, here's somebody speak of the devil. Shaban, this Jew hater guy showed up. Okay, so he's saying Salam alaikum, Javid Ayatollah Mujtaba Khamenei. Are you sure, Javid? Like, is he really? Is he alive? You know what? Actually, for your sake, by the way, I hope he's dead for your sake. Because if he's not dead, then he's such a coward. Like, what happened to the love for martyrdom and crap like that? Like, if he's alive, then he's the biggest coward of a supreme leader that you have ever had. So this is embarrassing. So I hope for your sake that he's not Javid and he's dead. He's saying Iran is stronger and more united than ever. I actually agree with that. Iran is stronger than ever because the Islamic Republic is weaker than ever. And the Iranian people are more united than ever before against the Islamic Republic and for Pahlavi. So you said something wrong. You're correct. I mean, the only wrong thing about it is that you put the crescent over there, which has nothing to do. It's the most anti-Iranian symbol out there. Saying we will never give up. The Iranian people will never give up until the Islamic Republic is over. What?
I think FAC. I don't know what FAC. If those 3 letters mean is some kind of like MEK, FAK. I don't know if that's what it is. If it means sex is not real glory, like he doesn't like the.
I think nobody has fact him, so he's saying it's not real. I think he's saying he's an incel. And he's coping over the fact that he has never had sex by saying it's not even a real thing. That's what I think is happening there. I'm just going to go with that. Okay. And then we have so much. See, this is why we don't ban racists, because they're so funny. They're so stupid.
And Mustafa's a life lover. I mean, if he's alive, he's a life lover. I mean, we had people, like we saw people at the funeral in their wheelchair. Like, even if show up in the wheelchair, it make you look weak. You might be better off dead, but at least it shows you're not a life lover. Because why are you so scared that you don't show up? Optics, weird, coward.
Coward, yes. Koala Katie with a super chat saying, my son's response to my Minecraft question was LMAO. They're probably going to hack American-based servers and destroy buildings. It happened before, just not by an actual political party or government. Wow, guys, we got a Minecraft expert explaining to us what that Minecraft thing was, and we got an expert opinion saying, Quality, please thank your son for the analysis. We appreciate that. Thank you.
And some insight into what the IRGC is spending their money on.
Yes, exactly. And then push-ups with a super chat saying, monkey lives matter.
Yes, and push-ups also matter. Do push-ups, folks, if you can do them.
Yes, in fact, monkeys could live longer lives if they do more push-ups.
We do a lot of pull-ups.
Right. Oh, yes.
From branches.
Right. Yeah, but not enough push-ups. You're right. Okay, so let's go to this one. Regarding the Christian religion in Lebanon. So Israel Prime Minister Netanyahu, the Christian village in Lebanon, some of them have actually asked to be annexed to Israel because we protect them against Hezbollah. Ooh, you know what this video is going to do? This video is going to get the anti-Israelis say like, oh, look at this. This is the greater Israeli project. And Bibi is like normalizing it as a way to make it happen. So let's listen to this.
Depends on his answer, though.
Yeah.
Your military does, and can we have some of your AI and cyber expertise? You know, Israel is the #2 country in cyber in the world, and our technology is absurd. It's so good. So the relations are not quite as they appear, and we have many friends. And I have to tell you, we also take care of our friends, especially the Christians in the Middle East. The Christian villages in Lebanon, some of them have actually asked to be annexed to Israel because we protect them against the Hezbollah fanatics who want to kill them. And we do the same things with Christians everywhere.
Well, you're
protect
leading
Christians in the Middle East.
You're touching on my next.
Your military does.
Oh wait, the last part here.
Hezbollah. We do the same things with Christians everywhere.
Well, you're
protect
leading
Christians in the Middle East.
You're touching on my next.
Wait, did he say they want to be annexed? Because that was in the caption.
I don't like that. I don't like that clip because she said you're leading into my next question, and the next question could be, would you be open to that? What's going on with Lebanon? Are you going to annex it? It kind of like leaves it there and doesn't let it. I don't like the clip itself. Like, I understand what he said. Like, personally, I think it would be, counterproductive for him to say, yeah, we'll do that. It would go against the talks with Lebanon. It would put a halt to them. It would put a halt if they say, hey, okay, we're going to work to you to get rid of Hezbollah. He says, yeah, I'm going to take a slice of your land. I don't think that's what he's going to do. I don't think that's his plan. But the clip doesn't go into it. I'd like to see a bigger clip, like a longer context.
Yeah, and she's always in a hurry. She's like breathing in and trying to interrupt him way too often. By the way, Samantha in the chat saying, I was pro CCP when I first started watching Armin, and now she's not. I'm like, today is such a good day. Thank you so much, guys. You're making me feel so useful. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you for saying that.
We're sending you hugs and kisses to all you gals and guys out there that are listening, keeping an open mind, and just engaging with the content as it is, despite any preconceptions you may have.
Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. I really appreciate you guys saying that. It motivates me to continue doing what we're doing over here. Okay, let's look at this next clip from Bibi.
Left. Taken together, what the vice president said about younger Republicans and what we're seeing with this growing.
Oh, is this about JD Vance?
Left. Taken together, what the vice president said about younger Republicans and what we're seeing with this growing radicalism on the left. Are you worried about the long-term durability of the U.S.-Israel relationship?
I worry about the trends that I see. I won't tell you that I'm not worried about it because I think it has something to do with frankly, with the social media, with the penetration of social media that has been used and abused by countries, 3 in particular, and they've had bot farms that push the stuff against America and against Israel, and it focuses on young people and young Americans, and I can't say that I'm not worried about the effect that it has. How do you combat this? It's hard because democratic countries don't have the ability to fight this this bot war and with the same means. We are accountable, we're transparent. It's not so simple. But I think you'll see a correlation between the penetration of certain social media and the decline in patriotic American feelings and support for Israel.
Okay.
It's something we have to deal with. But am I worried about it? Look, I think that our alliance is not merely based on common interests. I think it's based on common values. And as long as we stick to those common values, freedom, the right of every individual to live and not be slaughtered by fanatics. People should have free choice in their lives.
Okay.
And of course, to have our common heritage.
Okay, this lady says, okay, way too much. Like, apparently she was doing this throughout the interview. Like, stop talking.
Values,
oh my God.
Freedom, the right of every individual to live and not be slaughtered by fanatics. People should have free choice in their lives.
Okay.
And of course, to have our common heritage which has brought so much to the world. I think as long as we have that, our alliance will be fine.
We'll have to leave it there.
The most important thing that I can say, Jackie, in closing, is that I want to wish you and the people of America a happy 4th of July. 250 years of freedom, and frankly, 250 years of defending freedom.
Look, I have to say that this is the production's fault. I can't blame her.
I know.
Because she's beautiful and yellow like a banana. Look at her. Look at that banana yellow hair. Oh my God, she's so cute. I can't be against her with such a glorious banana tone hair. It's so yellow and lovely. I'm going to blame production. Production needs to get off her case. All right. Leave my banana lady alone. So she can have a proper interview. Give her more time.
Yes, give her more time.
Years of freedom, and frankly, 250 years of defending freedom. America has been the stellar force in this century and in the past one, in modern times. If you hadn't had America, you'd have Nazi totalitarianism, Stalin totalitarianism, and others. And I think America has been a great force for good. That doesn't mean that it's perfect. Israel is not perfect either.
Okay.
But it has been a force for immense good. And our alliance has been a terrific one. And it'll continue to the extent that I have anything to do with it, and the people of Israel, who are unabashedly pro-America.
Yes, they are.
Chad is calling me out. Yes, I am biased. I have a bias for banana gold hair. I confess.
That was a beautiful, speech about America. I really loved it.
I think she should, yes, rightly let him cook. Like the production, let Bibi cook. He's cooking. Come on, let him serve.
Okay. This one is about the people who burned the American flag. Is this the same part or is that different?
Christians in the Middle East.
You're touching on my next question.
Oh, this is the part that got cut off from the last video. So here. Perfect.
A source close to the vice president's team told Politico that statement that he made reflects his view of this new political reality where, quote, the vice president sees that the ground is shifting against Israel among voters, including with younger Republicans. He's responding accordingly with nuance instead of stridency. Do you take that as a warning that if Israel were to act alone, the Trump administration would withhold its backing?
Well, first of all, it concerns me that there's that element of anti-Israel, first of all, in the Democratic Party and in the woke right.
Wait, did they put J.D. Vance on the screen by accident when he's talking about the woke right? Look at this.
I think that's called serendipity. That's called serendipity.
Look at this. It's like those on the left who are anti-Israel, but also the people on the woke right, and then J.D. Vance, and they show J.D. Vance. Oh my God, that was like I don't know. I don't think this was on purpose, but wow. Okay, hold on.
Well, first of all, it concerns me that there's that element of anti-Israel. First of all, in the Democratic Party and in the woke right. I'm concerned with that.
Not only that, he's pointing his head to him. Like, go back a little bit. He says it and he like tilts his head left. I don't know if he's seeing the layout, but like he points with his head toward the woke right and points his head to kind of like towards J.D. Vance. It's so funny.
He's not seeing it. I've been on these shows. Actually, you do see it. Wait,
first of all, in the Democratic Party and in the woke right.
This guy.
I'm concerned with that, and to the extent that we can do something to mend it, obviously I'll do it. But I find that there's something unique about these attacks, and that something is that the people who hate Israel end up hating America, and I've seen that. When they do these, these demonstrations, these protests against Israel defending itself, this tiny country defending itself against these terrorist murderers who commit to exterminate us. And we do what any self-respecting country would do. We defend ourselves. But when they do the protest, they burn Israeli flags, and very often right next to them, they burn American flags. But when those Americans who support Israel, non-Jews and Jews alike, when they do a demonstration to support Israel, they wave the Israeli flag and they wave the American flag. So I think there's a
And the lion and sun flag.
process taking place inside America, which you probably know better than me, of questioning America's traditional values and going to many places that I think challenge not only our alliance, but they challenge the traditional values that form the basis of each of our countries. And I hope that's not something that is going to proceed. I hope America changes direction. That's really what I hope to see.
And
what do you think about that?
I think that the woke right is not the audience of Fox. Like the woke right is a fringe. It's not most of conservatives, and I think he is right to think that he's going to try to dissuade this thing from happening. There is a possibility that Trump, by letting Vance sort of play footsie, have sort of positions that are closing to the woke right, and letting Rubio. The isolationist right, letting Vance letting Vance express the isolationist right feeling, and letting Rubio express the unipolar right that think, no, we should be on top, we should be strongest. This thing, just let's isolate ourselves. No, we're not doing that. That's the Marco Rubio side, and the JD Vance side is no, we should isolate ourselves, step away, let everyone have their peace and deal with their things their way. So we have the isolationist right, the unipolar right. So having both of those in your camp allows Trump to sit back and just say, look, you can both vote Republicans because you're represented here. No matter what extreme you are, if you're just in the center and you don't know too much about any of this stuff, and you just want, to get the price of housing down by getting rid of all these illegal immigrants, if you want crime to go down and you don't even know about this stuff, well, I got you at the center. If you're within the isolationist camp, here's JD allowing you to represent these feelings. And if you were more in the unipolar right, well, we have Marco representing your feelings. And I think that's maybe not an intended policy, but it wouldn't surprise me because it allows them through the midterms to have the whole spectrum, the full spectrum represented.
So, okay. Speaking of people who hate America and the West and Israel, I do want to go to this Canadian Islamic scholar next. But before I do that, do you mind reading the super chats? You could highlight them and read them. They're on. There are 5-star comments.
All right. Here we have. Y'all make a team. Y'all make a great team. Congrats to my favorite greaser. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. We have gift basket.
Wait, go back. You should forgot to read her name.
Sherry. Oh my God. Because I look, she's in our discussion group, and because I already have her in my heart and mind, I can almost hear her saying this. I forgot to say, Sherry, you're getting your flowers. You're getting your props for being a great supporter. And we have Amir with 5 gifted Liberty Politics memberships. I think we call that a gift basket. Really appreciate that. Really appreciate that. Sherry says, call me your first official greaser. Yes, we're forming a troop. Forming a troop of monkeys, getting in a barrel of monkeys. It's going to be a lot of fun. All right, Push-Ups is telling us, I find Vance more retarded than malevolent. I think he has to separate it because of the terms service on written stuff. And
but wait, do you agree with this though? Well, no, go back. Do you agree with that?
I mean, I don't know if it's an act or real, but he can sure pull off that act. I don't know how it works. I'm learning. I don't know. I mean, oh my God, it's so annoying.
Yes. Okay, and Texas here.
I have some content.
Yeah.
Texas says I have some content to share on this group discussion. Oh. Well, we should then address the group we have where it says join my daily group calls. Up there on the left, we have a QR code. I think you can see that they're on the screen, right? Today we're having a premium politics discussion. This is going to happen in a couple of hours. You could come in and talk to us. And, if you have some breaking news, if you have some topics you'd like discussed, we can do that. And I would like to extend that invitation to the almost 2,000 people that are here with us. And thank you all for being here. Please like the stream. If you can, when you can comment, YouTube algorithm loves those comments. So leave a good comment and support. Maybe highlight a section. Put in the numbers. You can put like the number of the section that you would like to highlight. Hey, when you said this, it was real good. That kind of feedback is great. You know, we love feedback, and we really appreciate you. Go on, Armin.
So for people who are watching the group call that we're going to have soon, so which Texas Troop is going to be there with her topic. If you're watching us on YouTube, the link to that, you could find it on Liberty Politics YouTube channel. It's in the bio. If you're watching us on X, on Armin Navabi's X account, the link to that is over there on my, in my bio for my X account. All right. Oh, we got another super chat saying sketch is correct. They both serve a purpose. Wait, which one? What is this referring to?
JD and Marco.
Oh, okay.
It allows Trump to focus on the center and let Marco satisfy the unipolar. We should have a strong presence side of the right wing, and Vance represent the isolationist. I don't want to have to deal with this stuff side of the right wing.
Okay, so this is an Islamic scholar in Canada. What are the chances that we're going to hear something profound and good and that we agree with here?
Isn't that a term, is an oxymoronic term? Islamic scholar? I mean, how do you do that?
That's okay. Yes, it is true. That's a good point. But the Islamic scholar, quote unquote. So let's see what he has to say.
This video is a message for any Muslim who associates himself.
Okay, first of all, before I keep play it, I just want to say, look at this. Instead of sitting there and just talking from the beginning, they say like this is going to be more impactful if I start talking while listening. Like this was a conscious decision to do this. I can tell already that this was on purpose. But yeah, let's continue.
Like, look, I just got here, but let me tell you what's up. Let me pull on my pants. You can see I'm kind of tall, kind of skinny. We're gonna forget the skinny and focus on the tall, and I'm gonna do that by showing up here.
Okay. Let's see what he has to say.
This video is a message for any Muslim who associates himself nationalistically, culturally, with the Western country in which he was born in or immigrated to, whether you're Canadian or British or American or Australian. If you call yourself that plus Muslim, then this message is for you. Many Muslims, they see themselves as belonging to the Western civilizational project, unfortunately. Not just in action, which is like, many of us are forced to be here, or like we don't have any other opportunities elsewhere, but they really see themselves as actively building the West, leading the West, contributing to its values, being in alignment with what it means to be Canadian, British, American, whatever it is. And in doing so, they forget that Islam is its own civilizational project, right? I mean, while you were so caught up being a Canadian, you forgot that you're a Muslim. Like, Muslim is not, something in a parallel category where like, okay, my religion is Islam and my nation is Canada. No. Your religion, your nation, your politics, everything about you is Islam. Islam is meant to be totally exclusive. Western identity, Western civilization is its whole basket of ideas that come from the Enlightenment, come from Christendom. It has a specific evolution, right? Islam is a totally different world of ideas. There is no reason for these worlds of ideas to coincide, and in fact, they do not.
You know what? He is 100% correct. I heard no lies. I 100% agree with this Muslim, and this Muslim completely understands Islam. And his video, every single word that came out of his mouth is 100% on point. Most Muslims in the West don't understand. Many Muslims in the West don't understand. This is completely true. Everything he said is completely true. Like, it's not, if you're Muslim, if you say you're Muslim and American, then you do not understand Islam. This person understands Islam. Let me actually, Monkey, mute your mic because I want to. Let me actually explain.
Okay, I just want to say I don't know why he's playing with that hay the whole time. What is he so? What is he doing? What the hell is that about? But go ahead.
All right. Yeah, okay. Mute your mic for example, because I'm hearing back. Okay, so I have been telling you for so long that Islam is not just a religion. Islam is a world model. Islam is not in competition with Christianity, Hinduism, Judaism, and atheism. Islam is competition not with other religions. Islam is competition with other world models. There's only two other world models that I know of right now that are not the Islamic world model. One is the Western nation state model that came from the Enlightenment, and the other one is communism. So there's three world models. The Western Enlightenment nation state model that is right now dominating the planet and is basically, that is the political model existing everywhere. That's one. And the two other world models that are trying to bring it down, which is the communist world model and the Islamic world model. And this is why the communists and Muslims work with each other, because their world model is not being enforced. It's not the ones installed in the basically the software of the world, right? That's not the one installed. That is not installed on the operating system of the world, of the politics of the, if you can consider global politics the operating system, the software that is installed is the nation state model that they came out of the age of enlightenment in Western Europe, and but more importantly, the American Revolution. That is, and that's everywhere in the world. Everywhere that is a country is basically abiding by that model. So if you are Muslim, if you understand Islam, you should be against that, because the nation state model is fundamentally against the Quran and Islamic teaching, which teaches you that governance should not be based on man's rule. Man's law is shirk. Man's law is shirk. It's a violation of Islam. It's a violation of the Quran. The only law, the only rule should only be based on Allah. Rule.
Preach. Hallelujah. Tell them.
The teaching of Islam, fundamental teaching of Islam, if you understand the Quran, is that all rule should be Allah's rule. And then the Western nation state model is man's rule, is man-made laws. And man-made law is associating partners with God, which is shirk, which is the most unforgivable sin in Islam, because the shirk is associating partners with Allah. Associating partners with Allah includes doing things that only Allah should be able to do. One thing that only Allah should be able to do according to Islam is to set laws. If you have any laws that are not based on the Quran and the Sunnah, but based on people, based on humans deciding the law, that's a violation of God's rule. And worse than that is associating partners with Allah in ruling, which is shirk, which is the most unforgivable sin in Islam. And not only that, if you say that is okay, you have done something more than just sinning. You have now left the fold of Islam. If you sin, you could still be a Muslim who is sinning. But if you deny that this is a commandment of Allah, not only have you sinned, you are no longer a Muslim. So if you are a Muslim who is denying that all rules should be rule of Allah, you are, according to Islam itself, have left the fold of Islam. And by that, if you ever recognize the authority of any nation state, not just, I go farther than this person, not just United States, Canada, the UK, France, Germany, Australia, not just Western countries. If you recognize the nation state of Egypt, of Saudi Arabia, of Bangladesh, you are also violating the rules of law. Any nation state model, any nation state model, any president, any prime minister, any Congress, any separations of power, any three branches of government, all of this came from Western Europe and the United States. These are not based on God's law. This is an invention of Western countries and a violation of God's law. Any election is a violation of God's law, and if you accept it, it's shirk. So if you're a Muslim and you believe that, oh, I'm an American and a Muslim, you have recognized the nation state of the United States, and according to, not according to me, but according to Islam, you're no longer a Muslim, and you don't even understand what being a Muslim is all about. So this person is telling no lies. He's completely right. He's completely right. And he should be kicked out of Canada because this is treason. Okay. He is. So he's being honest with you, and he understands Islam more than most Muslims do. But at the same time, he's an honest person, but he's doing treason. He's in Canada, and what he's doing is he's waging war against Canada. This man in Canada is admitting to you that he wants to destroy Canada and every other Western country probably with a Canadian citizenship. This should be treason.
Yes. I just want to say, I know that this is true. Like, even voting is a form of taqiyya because they don't really believe in voting. They don't believe in any kind of democracy. That's against religious law. What voting? You're not supposed to vote. Like, you're supposed to just follow Sharia and follow your clerics. You're not supposed to have this kind of nation state government democracy. You think you can freely elect your laws? You don't get to have a democratic way to elect your laws. That's not allowed in this religion. Like, I think that's why in Palestine they had one vote and then no more. Then Hamas took over. There's no more votes long ago, and then they just took over because it's just a way to get what they want. Once they get what they want, the power to not allow you to vote anymore, they wouldn't do it. They might let you vote on things they don't think matter. I think they do this in the IRGC. They let you vote for things that they don't think matter, that doesn't really matter. And it's more of an appeasement thing that they don't really believe in. But I will say this. I want to show the difference. I want to show the difference. This is what Christians believe, right? I have Timothy 2:4. Timothy 2:1-4, it says, I exhort therefore that first all supplicants, prayers, and intercessions and giving of thanks be made for all men, for kings, and for all that are in authority. It doesn't make a distinction of Christian kings. It doesn't make it because there weren't any at the time. Right? This is like blatantly obvious what they're trying to say. It's like, look, you don't want to hate the people in charge. You want to bless them and let them come to an understanding of the truth. It says that we may lead a quiet, peaceable life in all godliness and honesty, which they don't believe in. For this is good and acceptable in the sight of God our Savior, who will have all men be saved and come unto the knowledge of truth. Right? These people have deception. They have a lot of deception. If I have to pick one of the two, like even most atheists will say, yeah, I would rather deal with a Christian than with an Islamist in government. And, no matter what you believe, you have to understand that the truth and living a peaceable life is pressable to this kind of taqiyya, to this type of government that is basically just wanting to dominate, infiltrate, and betray. They just want to dominate you. They just want to infiltrate. What they want to do is take over. And we have seen this in UK, where they're coming up with Sharia courts and a two-tier system of governance. We're seeing this happen in Texas, in Dearborn. We've seen this happen with the Somalis in Minnesota. And this is the way they infiltrate. This is the way that they operate. They do not believe in your system of governments. As you have seen this guy clearly state, like his purpose is not to work within the system, to better the system. No. They want to replace the system. And when you want to replace the system, what you're going to do is destroy it. Once you have the power to destroy the system, you will destroy the system because your whole purpose is replacing it, not bettering it. What do you think about this, Harman?
No, yeah, 100%. So as an atheist, I do agree that if you are an atheist and you don't recognize that Islam is a threat and Christians are an ally to you in this fight against basically Islamic tyranny, then you are an idiot, right? And I think most atheists, if they're being honest with themselves, they should understand. They would agree with me, right?
Absolutely.
And also, I know I'm gonna might get in trouble with some people with this, but it's truth. It's statistically true. If I'm like in the middle of somewhere at night and I see some Muslims in one corner and some Christians in one corner, as an atheist, I will go towards the Christian people because I will feel safer in a foreign country that I don't know of. If the Christians in one corner and Muslims in another corner, I know most Muslims are not going to do violence, but statistically, I know that I'm going to be a lot more safer if I go towards in fact, if I get a bunch of Muslims attacking me, I'm going to call out to the Christians to help me out over here, right? On average.
You'd be safer statistically. That's just empirically true.
Like statistically. Again, Cyrus, I know you're a Muslim. I'm not saying most Muslims are violent, but on average, there are more violent people among Muslims than there are in Christians.
If everyone in that corner was Cyrus, we'd be fine, right? But they're not all.
Yes, they're not all Cyrus. So, for example, it's true to say that most Muslims are not terrorists. That's true. But it's also true to say that most terrorists are Muslim. A lot of people miss the second part, right? The second part is also important, right? So
very important.
Let me see.
Deadly important.
Yes. And yeah. And then, okay, so Tao Fei with a super chat saying Islam was created as a theocracy and has never changed their model in 1400 years. I mean, it's in the Quran. The only way it could change is to give up on the Quran, right? The only way to change Islam for it not to be a theocratic model for the world, it's not just a theocratic model. It's a global theocratic model that is supposed to dominate the planet. And the only way you could fix that is for Islam, for somehow magically, to be completely separated from the Quran. And then think, join us or be subjugated. That's it. Or die. No, there's another option. You could die. So you could either be a dhimmi if you're, Christian or Jew, or subjugated or die. These are the options. That's it. It's not a religion at all. It's a form of government that requires subservience or death. Well, I would say it's a religion that is a form of government that requires So I do agree that it's a form of government that requires subservience or death, but it's also a religion. I mean, it's a subcategory of a religion. But yeah,
they have the jizya tax.
Yes, the jizya tax. Okay, and it has nothing to do with jizzing, by the way. Erickson with a super chat saying, "Yes, Armin, preach it. Takbir, Allah." Okay. All right, Amir, thank you so much for the super. Oh, it's a super sticker, and I saw it was a microphone. Thank you so much, Amir. Thank you so always supporting us. Thank you. And then. Oh, this one. Yeah, the part that I explained this, Death Star is saying, clip this, Armin, and share it far and wide. Yeah, I know what. You know what? There are so many good segments that I need to be clipping, not just from this stream, but the previous one and the one before it. And guys, can you send me the timestamp so I could give it to our editor, because I don't pay our editor a lot to go watch this entire stream, because I still need to. Our super chat money is giving us an editor that could only spend some time when it comes to making videos. And right now, the clips that comes out is all AI picks the timestamps, right? So I don't have enough money to pay our editor to just watch all of these streams and pick these parts out. But soon we will be able to afford that as well. We're working our way towards being able to afford that. But if you don't want to support us, in this stream and the previous stream and the stream before it, we had some really good moments. If you could send me the timestamps, then we will cut those parts. Just tell the editor, here they are, just go get them out, right?
I also want to thank the over 2,000 people here right now. You guys are wonderful people. I want to thank you for being here. There's another ways to support if you can't really afford a super chat. We do love the super chat. Super chats help a lot. Don't get it twisted. But liking the stream, just watching is very important. Liking the stream, leaving a comment is great. So we really want to support that too. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Amir saying thank you for the microphone. Well, thank you. That's very sweet. Anyway, speaking like now that we're on anti-Americans, look at this Canary Mission, guys. This is a good account to follow. I'm liking they're not that big. They're like less than 100K followers, but they're doing really good job in putting these together. So I just want to give them a shout out.
Maybe we could drop their link if we can at some point.
I will do that. You see, you're such a good person, Monkey. Well, not a person, a good monkey. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat. This account, Canary Mission, is really good. And look, oh my God, we got a giant super chat. Thank you so much. That's very Tao Fei. That's very generous. Thank you. Say for the editor, don't ban me for caps, please. No, no, guys, we're not going to ban you guys for doing caps. That if only when somebody, I know you're joking. We were only saying about somebody who just does that all the time and just basically makes the chat unusable. And thank you for the generous super chat. The super chats are what I use to hire the editor, the cover designers, the researchers. So it does help. The super chats do really help for us to be able to keep expanding. The software expense, right now, the StreamYard that we're using right now, that's cost like $200 a month because we need 8 seats to be able to have more YouTubers use it. We use like Opus Clips, we use that. We pay that. We buy a lot of AI credits for that. Descript, we use that for our software. So thank you guys. All of these super chats really do help to pay the people who are helping us. And
there's some relief here. There's some relief. Yes. We're glad to clarify that for you. You're obviously a supporter. The other person was basically trying to get us banned. So you're doing great work here. Thank you.
Texas, I know you were worried, Tom. Okay. No, don't worry. We got you. All right, let's look at this one. Yes. Oh, by the way, when Monkey says that 2,000 people are watching us, you might be on YouTube and like, what are you talking about? There's no 2,000 people here. We're live on multiple different platforms at the same time on YouTube and X, and that's why it's adding up to 2,200. That's what Monkey is seeing, right?
Yes. Wherever you're watching, we appreciate you. Wherever you like, share, like all of you. Like some people may not be aware of that. Thanks for the clarification.
Right. So this person, the most important thing we can do is to take that American empire down from within. So this is a DSA member that makes it clear what their goal is: destroying America. DSA, for people who might not know, is the Democratic Socialists of America. So they're telling you here exactly. So first we watched a video of a Muslim telling you that the goal of Islam is to take down Western civilization and bring Islam in its place. Now we're looking at these socialists basically demonstrating that they have the same goal. This is why they work with each other, guys, because they have the same goal, which is basically destroying the Western imperial, from their perspective, Western imperial model. And guys, by the way, this means they're not just against the United States, they're against every country, because they say they're against the West, but what they're actually against is the world model that we have, that every country is to some extent abiding by. So they're against this total global order that we're in right now. So let's listen to her.
And we have a unique responsibility to act from the heart of empire, the belly of the beast. The most important thing that we can do is take that empire down from within.
Our role ultimately is to facilitate our own empire's failure in ways that we can, ultimately to overthrow our own empire.
U.S. imperialism is not a thing that can be reformed away. It has to be overthrown through revolutionary struggle.
And to build a mass movement that can use the leverage of workers to hit the kill switch on American imperialism here within the American empire.
Oh my God. So yeah, these are the enemies from within. These are the people who will open the door to the barbarians at the gate to take down America.
These are DSA reps in different places. These are like the reps. Yeah. I'm thinking these are the reps because they're kind of like speaking for, they're kind of like speaking about a mission statement. That's what it appears to be.
Yeah. So the first one was a DSA rep in Los Angeles. This one is Seattle. This one keeps going: San Francisco, Portland. And this person is reading off of a script. Like she's not even good as these people were speaking from the heart. This person, look at this.
Has to be.
She got some crazy eyes too.
Through revolutionary struggle.
And to build a
look, this person is not even
mass
good
movement that can use the leverage of workers to hit the kill switch on American imperialism here within the American.
Look,
you can see like switching pages on a prompter or something.
Yeah, she's using her mouse to scroll down or something, so she doesn't.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this is
Oh my God! Look at the chat saying Rico, please. So I think they're talking about a RICO case. Are these people funding some Antifa members? Are they funding some illegal actions? I don't know. I'll leave it up to the investigators to check out. But a lot of these types of organizations are getting looked at.
They are advocating for the destruction of the United States. And when people vote for Mamdani, they're voting for this. Mamdani is part of the DSA, is he not?
Well, they're not against imperialism. They're just for the other empire. They're for the Islamic Empire.
No. My question is Mamdani part of the DSA, part of the Democratic Socialists of America?
I don't know if he is still part of it. I know he had some association with it, and he supported candidates of the DSA.
So let me
what
ask
some
you,
people are saying is that they shouldn't
Mamdani
even
part
be
of DSA. Explain it to me in one line.
I don't know for sure. He had association with them.
No, I was asking AI.
Oh,
okay.
You're
so
using the
Mamdani-
voice thing. Sorry.
Yes. Oh no. I said DSA and AI thought I said the essay, not the essay. DSA, you idiot. Okay, here. So it says no. Mamdani is a type of fuzzy inference system used to control. Oh my God! What the hell? Zohran Mamdani. What is the fuzzy? AI is being so stupid.
Yeah, maybe put Mayor Mamdani.
What is a type of fuzzy inference system? What the fuck are you talking about?
I mean, he is fuzzy.
Okay, finally, I understood what I'm talking about. Okay, it's saying yes. Zohran Mamdani is okay. There you go. Yes, Zohran Mamdani is a prominent member of the Democratic Socialists of America and serves as the New York City mayor. Okay, there we go. He says you can.
So he's not a Democrat then.
Yeah, I mean Democratic Socialists. Yeah, he's not probably. Yeah, I mean
Because
he's
let me explain myself.
Yeah.
There are members of the Democrat Party that believe that these DSA members should be seated as independents, not as part of the Democratic Party, because they fear that when these nominations go into the general primary, they will be too far left to win. And not necessarily in New York, but in a lot of places. And the chat agrees that Mamdani is very fuzzy.
Yeah, I was saying that. Okay. Read the super chat. Push-ups gave us a super chat.
Push-up says, I'm a bit torn on Canary Mission. It's a bit cancel culture-ish. You'd hope stupid things you say in college clubs won't follow you forever. Okay, so here's the thing. You have to find what we agree with on some of these cases. I'm not sure everything, but if there's more that you agree with and that you don't, you can use them kind of as a resource. Now, if you catch them lying, that's a different thing. So, you have to make your own judgment. I won't push back too much. I'll just say, give them a little grace. Let's see how it goes.
So when they do good, we will celebrate what they're doing good, and when they're doing bad, we'll basically call it out. How about that?
Yes.
There you go. Okay. Speaking of Canary Mission, here's another video they have of DSA members and Palestinian Youth Movement activists say it's plain and simple. We have to destroy the idea of America. Oh my God.
What's going on with her mouth? What is this? What? Oh my God.
Sorry, it's the first frame. I haven't watched it myself. Let's watch this.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers! We ain't going anywhere!
Now it's time to escalate. We must always continue to agitate.
But we have and we will continue to globalize the Intifada.
We need to neutralize the institutions of power in the West.
That part of me would be Hamas. I'm a part of the BDS movement, Hamas.
Now we're in Congress, and we're every corner of the United States.
Carrying out campaigns into tangible strategic targets that have to respond to us.
Reaching into all of the key areas of social power to transform it and overthrow it.
Bringing the fight back home.
We have to destroy the idea of America.
See, we have to destroy the idea of America.
I think there's an important clarification that needs to be made here, and I think you're the only person that can do it. Can you clarify to the chat what globalize the Intifada means?
Oh yeah, so the Intifada is the so-called terroristic Palestinian uprising against the Jewish people, and it involves a lot of violence. It's basically an event that involved a lot of terrorist activities against Israelis. And when they say they need to globalize that, that means that they have to basically spread terrorism against the imperialist West and global Zionism worldwide, and make that basically spread terrorism and violence everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to give the Walmart American version. They want to kill Jews all over the world.
Well, not just Jews. They want to destroy Jews
and their friends.
And basically anybody that is a supporter of the West, basically the imperialist West, in their mind, imperialists in their mind.
So terrorism. This is general terrorism, basically terrorism against Western culture and Western governance.
Yeah, in fact, they're anti-Israel because they see that as an extension of Western imperialism. So they just basically want to bring down. They're saying they want to bring down Western civilization with terrorism. That's what they're saying.
All right, that sounds like a sedition and treason to me. But you know, that I don't know what else to say. This is a seditionist, treasonous movement. The way they're talking about infiltration, it sounds like a very old strategy. I think Yuri Bezmenov talked about it in Active Measures. It also goes a little bit further back when you talk about the long march through the institutions. This comes from the School of Cultural Marxism, the Frankfurt School. I think this is Islamo-Marxism, Islamo-communism, and I think it's very dangerous.
So I want to respond to this person in the chat saying, who cares what those savages say? Hey, when your enemy is telling you what their plan is, you listen. When your enemy is talking, you listen. It's very important that you listen. If you're defending the West, you have to know what your enemy's propaganda is, what their plans are, what their tools are. It's very important. You should care. If you care about Western civilization, you have to know what your enemy is up to. Do you agree with that, Monkey?
200%. I'm not really good at math, but that's how I represent it.
Right. Okay, we got a super chat. Oh, look at this. So nice. Charles is saying, great work, guys. Thank you all. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Isn't that sweet? I love that. Thank you. And there we go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Charles. Okay, let's go to this one. Look at these people. They're asking, so what do you think about Bill Maher? Do you like him?
I think he's slow. Like, why did it take you this long to start realizing some of this stuff when it's been so obvious for so long? Especially in Hollywood. Well, Hollywood is kind of a bubble. I'll give him that.
He has had better takes than most people on the left, to be honest. He's asking the people on the left, what do they, let me ask you first, Monkey. Can you be gay in Gaza? That's the question he's asking these people.
Only if you can fly. If you can fly, yes. If you can't fly, no.
Okay, so that was Monkey's answer. Let's see this leftist answering this.
Can you be gay in Gaza?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes, you can.
And live?
Absolutely, you can. You know what? It's even more offensive because you're saying.
I'm just asking because I've heard.
You can be gays in Gaza.
Really?
I traveled the Middle East.
Is there a gay bar in Gaza?
This is what I do for a living. The Muslim community feel threatened and feel offended, and they are underrepresented in the media and underrepresented in political avenues. You never invite them here on these issues.
Never invite them here. You're here. Reza here is here. They're here all the time.
On these issues.
What do you mean on these issues?
I mean,
I'm the one who
happen
says
to-
I want to stop talking about this. I can't because things happen in the news.
Reza was invited to talk about something else. It was August 1st.
Well, Reza's been here
I mean,
a lot.
And I'm happy that he's been here, and I've been here, and I'm so happy to be invited here. However, if you want to have a serious conversation about Islam, and I'm sorry to tell you this, Bill.
Every time I say
have
something
a
you don't like, it's not a serious conversation or I'm a bigot. I'm sorry. In your world,
can't
either I'd
compare-
say exactly what you want me to say or
No,
else I'm
no.
a bigot. And
Look,
that just doesn't work
If
for me.
you look, if you're, my father was Muslim. He was Sufi. You don't even know the difference between Sufi, Sunni, Shafi'i,
Yeah, I
Shi'i,
do.
Hanbali. You don't.
Well,
For you, we are all
I know
jihadists,
that
and
in
it's
many
not true.
places in the world, if you left your religion, what would happen?
Guess what? Let me tell you something.
It would be
Many
okay. You
people
could
in
walk
Tunisia,
inside. You could walk inside a door in
Many
Gaza
peop-
and say, "You know what? I'm a Presbyterian today."
maybe not in Gaza, to be honest, but you can do it in Jordan. You can do it in Lebanon. The majority of you are blaming the majority for the criminal acts of a minority. Unfortunately, the
All right.
majority are disorganized, and there's a small minority
All right.
that are well organized, and they're controlling the narrative.
I have to move on.
I'm happy that you move on, but I'm telling you, there's some people that lose. If you would have said some of the things that you would have said about African Americans and about Jews, you would be fired.
But African Americans and Jews don't belong to a religion that wanted to kill
Jews, they do.
Salman Rushdie for writing a book. If we want to get back to the free speech issue, so I'm sorry, that's called false equivalency.
Okay,
Not
when
all
Salman,
religions
no,
are
no,
alike. I have to move on.
Oh my God!
Can you?
So ignorant. What the hell is wrong with her? Like
She's
she
not.
said-
She's not ignorant. She's not ignorant at all.
Okay. There
She's
you go.
evil.
Like, does she honestly think that you in Gaza you could go out and be gay and to suggest otherwise is bigoted?
No,
and,
she doesn't think that. She's lying.
She's lying.
Yes. She's an expert at deflection, at false equivalency. She's using every rhetorical tactic that you would use to straw manning. She's doing this is not stupidity. This is evil. She's not stupid. She's evil. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's not stupid. She's lying.
It's unbelievable that somebody come up with a straight face and saying like, yeah, in Gaza, you could be gay and they're not going to do anything about it. Like, if you, and they're like, I've studied Islam. I traveled all around the Islamic world. I know what I'm talking about. You clearly don't.
What
Like,
set
that
Bill
is-
Maher off is that say you don't represent these voices. And he's like, bitch, aren't you here representing these voices? What the fuck are you talking about? She's like, what? Are you stupid? You fucking moron. Don't I have you here? Aren't you here to explain these voices to me? Would you not count as representing them? Like that's what set him off. But
I mean, to
yeah,
be fair,
she's lying.
she's right. To be fair, she's right. She's not a representative of those voices. She's not.
No, she's lying.
Oh my God. Anyways, speaking of more anti-Americans, this Jackson Hinkle put out another video. I haven't watched it. He's like, the captions is Iran rallies against Zionist criminals. So let's look at.
I think we saw a little bit of this on a multi video about the
yes,
collecting
you're
the
right. You're
voices
right. So
of
let's
people that are doing this type of
So for
behavior.
people who are new here, this is an American. He calls himself a MAGA communist, American white MAGA communist. I don't think there's anything MAGA about him, but he is in Iran defending the Islamic Republic.
That's oxymoronic, by the way. That's completely oxymoronic. You can't be a MAGA communist. That's stupid.
Yep.
We are here in Tehran in the major square. This is going on many months, that each and every day the people of Iran, young and old, men and women, have been out here standing with the revolution against the United States, against the Zionist entity and the terrorist crimes of the Trump administration and Netanyahu. If there's one thing I can tell you here tonight, it's that the people here want their revenge, and revenge I'm sure they will get. Beautiful, beautiful crowd, so many flags, so many people in attendance. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
We are here in Tehran.
Yeah, that's like basically propaganda.
That he. Oh.
Do you think
The-
he
nothing
holds
is-
that flag so they won't smack him while he talks in English? Like, I wonder what that flag says. Like, if that flag says something like truly terrible, I'd like to know. Can you see there what he has on his flag?
Let me go back to the video. Oh, yes, a good question. Let me see. That's a red flag. It's probably a Hussein flag.
He might have the same flag in the next video. I'm not sure. I think it was him holding a flag in the next video.
Let me move. I'm gonna turn around. Let me see your flag. It's probably a Hussein flag, like the Hussein, the grandchild of Muhammad.
I can tell you here tonight.
Can't see what's on it. Oh, Yo Hussein. It says Yo. I was right. Yo Hussein means Hussein. Hussein is the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, the one who died in Karbala.
So it's more religious than political. I mean, it's all political, but like within the context.
Yeah. I mean, there's no separation here. And now he's here now giving a speech. I think. Let me see. This is Jackson Hinkle as well, in the Engelab Square in Tehran.
Down with USA.
Look at that. That's him. That's him holding his Ya Hussein flag and telling the people, the pro-regime Iranians, that he's American. Why does he he has a U.S. flag in his bio? Like he pretends to be a patriot American. Why is he saying down with USA?
Okay, let me explain. He's lying. He's lying about having any American values or any loyalty to America. He's lying. I mean, we don't need to wonder too much. This is a grifter. I think he doesn't even live in America anymore. He's just lying.
I wish he lived in America because this is material support for the enemies of the United States. I wish you could get arrested for this or something. But let me continue.
Down with USA. Down with USA. Down with USA. Down with Zionists. Down with Zionists. Down with USA. Down with Israel. Down with Israel. Down with USA. Down with Zionists.
He must be having so much fun there. Like they're treating him like a celebrity there, right?
I think he is working as a celebrity, but I think okay, this is what I've heard, that he is based out of Russia now, and that he may be an operative for them, and this is like a propaganda agent for the people who have allowed him to live in Russia and have a money there. I think that's kind of like where his interests lie, and if I'm not mistaken, there has been recently a gathering of all these kind of allegedly America First propagandists that were in Russia. In fact, I think Candace Owens was over there when they got bombed by Ukraine. She was over there at a conference. So you have to understand that these people that claim America, they're not American. They're just lying. They put that little flag in there, but that flag doesn't represent where they are, where they spend most of their time, and where their interests lie. Well, not where their future interests lie. Because if you're not gonna live in America and you don't live in America, how can you say you are very worried about its future? You're very worried. Like, okay, maybe, but then you're committing this action. You're uniting with the people against America. No, he's just lying. He's a dimmy dum, yeah, but he's also not dumb. He's evil. These people are evil. Like, underestimating the enemy is also a mistake. You can make the mistake of like you can't look at a pattern of malice and come to the conclusion, oh, they're just dumb. No. Like these people know what they're doing, and what they're doing is evil.
Right. Here, speaking of people, Americans who have gone to Iran to support the Islamic Republic, here's a new video from Kala Walsh, who is a U.S. citizen, is now apparently living in Lebanon as a propagandist of Hezbollah terrorist organization, provided commentary and narration at Ali Khamenei's funeral in Iran for a poetry event featuring 250 Iranian poets honoring Iran's martyred leader. This coincides with the 250th anniversary of U.S. independence. The tribute highlights continued concerns by Western countries on how regime supporters glorify Tehran's leadership and spread its messaging abroad, despite understanding full well the human rights record of atrocities and repression carried out under the brutal communist and Islamist dictatorships. So here, this is another American. By the way, Kala Walsh used to work for what's her name? Pocahontas. Elizabeth Warren.
Pocahontas, yes, Elizabeth Warren.
Now she's in Iran supporting the Islamic Republic.
We're here on the second day of the funeral procession of Sayyid Ali Khamenei. Today, the funeral prayers are about to be delivered, and behind us, over 250 poets are still reciting a continuous 48 hours of poetry in honor of Sayyid Khamenei, who was an admirer of poetry and literature himself, and a prolific poet. And this is set to break a Guinness World Record of continuous poetry recitation in honor of his life in resistance. We're here on the second day.
Okay.
Is Guinness there? Who's measuring this record? What's going on here? I didn't know that the Guinness World Record book was over there trying to like clarify things. Did the IRGC reach out? Hey, we're trying to do a thing here. We want you to come out and make sure that we do have the best on record. How do we know that this is the longest recital? This is all kind of weird to me. Actually, this is this weird flex, bro.
Weird flex, but okay. Okay. Here's another flex. Speaking of, they are hanging President Trump at the funeral of Ali Khamenei, like his, what is this called?
They're having, that's that hangman's noose. They're hanging him.
Mock hanging of President Trump. Okay, so
it's also known as lynching.
Okay, let's watch this here. People want to see. President Trump was so nice to them, allowing them to have a funeral. Do they know that they're having a funeral because President Trump permitted it? Look at this.
I don't think the news media over there is going to allow them to know.
Okay, well, there's that.
Okay, you have arts and crafts. Good for you guys. Arts and craft. There you go. I'd make something better, but okay.
Do you think President Trump sees these videos?
I'm sure he does.
Okay, so here, this Muslim woman at the funeral of Khamenei had a message for the Americans and in English. So she's talking to Americans from Khamenei's funeral in English. Let's see what she has to say. So, Monkey, this is for you guys. Texas Troop, Americans. She's from the funeral. A message to you guys. See what she said.
Hey, American people. Many of you told me that I was the agent of the Islamic regime and I get paid by them. Well, I wish I were. I really wish I were. Because if I were, I would be able to visit Ayatollah Khamenei in person at least once in my life. But I never had the chance to meet him. Not even in his public speaking, because it was always so crowded. But now I'm lucky enough to see his coffin at least.
Wait, is she saying that
And
the
you can
only
pay to
way
see
that
him?
Khamenei. Wait, is she saying the only way Khamenei would meet with you if for you to pay? Like,
Oh my God, he's
wait.
like Santa at the mall. You have to pay to get your picture taken on his lap. You know,
Wait, she's like, oh, you accuse me of getting paid, but I'm not getting paid because I'm so poor and I couldn't meet Khamenei because he only meets with people who pay him. What the hell?
It's like Santa at the mall.
This is the weirdest, like, what? I didn't have enough money to meet Khamenei. Like, he was hard. Like, okay, sure.
I could have sat on his lap for $5 and have him try to grope my booty. Oh my God, I missed out.
This was such a what the hell?
But I never had the chance to meet him, not even in his public speaking, because it was always so crowded. But now I'm lucky enough to see his coffin at least. Tomorrow, after his funeral, he leaves Tehran forever and will be buried next to Imam Reza's shrine in Mashhad.
So wait, I think she's thanking Americans because she never got to see him, but now you killed him, so now she finally gets to see him because the dead
Yay.
version of Khamenei is free. So you're welcome.
You're welcome.
Now yeah. So they basically made your wish come true.
Many of you Americans, as the Trump administration puts it, might think that you achieved your goals and won the war by killing him. But I want to remind you that sometimes you do the greatest favor for someone by killing them.
Wow!
Oh my God! He said it.
She's actually thanking you for killing Khamenei.
Oh my God! Oh my God! She's gonna get in trouble.
I was joking, but she's like, no, you did us a favor for killing Khamenei. Well, okay. Do you have anyone else you want Americans to kill?
I mean, we can hand out so many favors. We could put so many warheads on so many foreheads. It's not even funny. Well, it would be.
Isn't this insulting? This like she's like, I know what she's saying because they're like, oh, we actually prefer to be murdered. But she's technically, if you listen to her, she's saying you did us a favor for killing Khamenei. Like this is like an insult of Khamenei. Yeah, we wanted you to do that. Okay. Well, you're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be of service.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And not only did it, unlike your supreme leader, not only did they not charge for it, they're giving you corn. They're giving you American corn.
In Mashhad. Many of you Americans, as the Trump administration puts it, might think that you achieved your goals and won the war by killing him. But I want to remind you that sometimes you do the greatest favor for someone by killing them. Because you make them far more popular. You make their names stand out in history and make.
So he was not popular and his name did not stand out. So
yes,
now
yes. Thank you. Oh, you know what? Yeah. No, okay. You're welcome. You're welcome.
This is oh my God.
The rest of the world curious to know who they were, that you could no longer tolerate them and had to eliminate them out of desperation and fear. On behalf of all Iranians, I tell you that it's not over yet. You just
I have a question. What are these green feather dusters behind the? We use this to clean the shelves, to clean like a bookshelf, like the one behind you. We grab stuff like that and we use it to dust off.
I think those are sweets. I think it might be sweets.
They don't swing them around like it's sweets. They swing them around like it's a party favor or something. I don't think they're eating them. Look, rewind a little bit and look at it. They're swinging it around in a strange way.
Tolerate them and had to eliminate them out of desperation and fear. On behalf of all Iranians, I tell you that it's not over yet.
I think it's sweets. Is this sweet?
You just united us
you're right.
under our flag to continue fighting for freedom of humanity. In fact, Ayatollah Khamenei gave us the courage to fight against the child killer Israel and the United States, that is the main sponsor of terrorism.
Okay, so we learned
it might be a sweet covered in plastic to keep it clean.
Yes, it might be that. But we learned that Khamenei wouldn't meet with her because she was poor, and now a dead version of Khamenei is free. So now she gets to see him finally. We also learned that Khamenei was not very popular, and the best way to get popular is to somebody to kill you. So if anybody else within your regime wants some attention, let us
we could
know.
be the best public relations firm right now. We could do the best things for your name. Your name won't be, as celebrated as it will if you just give us that name and that location. We could do so much good PR for you. It's so much promotion. We could promote you so good. We could promote you all the way up into the stratosphere. We hit you hard enough.
She says, like, it's not over. Like, I hope she's right. I hope it's not. Yeah, I mean, we could let us know if it's not over. We could let the Americans know. We could make all of you famous if you wanted. All right, let's go to. Oh, look, there's 2 videos back to back. I want to compare between JD Vance and an new video from JD Vance and an old video from Marco Rubio. Let me know what you think. Okay, so this is JD Vance calling. Oh, here, let me see. No, this is Netanyahu.
If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government,
I mean, Netanyahu we're going to respond to this.
If I was in the cabinet of the Israeli government, I might not be attacking the only powerful ally that I have anywhere left in the entire world.
What was your reaction when you heard that?
First of all, I respect J.D. Vance. We have a very good relationship, but doesn't mean that I agree with everything that he says. And I have to point out this. Donald Trump is the greatest friend we ever had in the White House. And I stand by that completely. Secondly, we have some other friends, like a small country called India. It has 1.4 billion people. And boy, do we have a tremendous support there.
Mm-hmm.
I have this Facebook thing, and I'm just flooded by the overwhelming support there, and we have many others. Let me tell you where we have support, because it's fashionable now, and in many countries, because their media and their social media are inundated with anti-Israel, anti-Semitic material. Many leaders, call me up and say, "Hey, look, I've got this problem with public opinion, but I want you to know we respect you, and can we make some deals? And can you teach us some of the things that your military does? And can we have some of your AI and cyber expertise?" Israel is the number 2 country in cyber in the world, and our technology is absurd. It's so good. The relations are not quite as they appear, and we have many friends. And I have to tell you.
So this is Netanyahu's response.
I have to make some heart eyes for my avatar for when I see the pretty banana hair lady, because she's so cute, so adorable. She looks like she's pursing her lips to blow me a kiss. Oh my God, she's so cute. I'm beginning to love this channel. This is Fox News. I'm gonna have to check it out more often. Hey, pretty lady, hello. I'm a funny monkey.
Okay, control yourself. Okay. Anyways, so Bibi is saying that JD Vance is wrong. We're not alone. We have other countries that are Israel's allies. So that's
on that front, I wouldn't I don't think JD Vance said anything anti-Semitic. So bringing up anti-Semitism is something that would make Americans a little reticent. Like, why you're bringing that up? He didn't say anything racist or anti-Semitic.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't talking about JD Vance when he said that. To be fair, too.
Yeah, but bringing it up would imply that you know what I'm saying. Like, people who didn't, it would be. I'm not saying it's logical. I'm not saying that he did it with that purpose. But it is something that Americans are very sensitive about. Like, if I talk about something, don't call me a racist. If I'm talking about immigration, don't call me a racist. If I'm talking about our relationship with China, don't call me a racist. If I'm talking about our relationship with Israel, don't call me an anti-Semite. That's just a sensitive point for Americans. And if I was going to tell BBs, don't mention anti-Semitism, just mention that you do have lots of relationship with other countries. That would be my advice, not because he's doing anything wrong, just because Americans are very sensitive, especially on the right, about those accusations.
Right. Also, I do have to admit, though, it's true that Israel has other friends, okay? But to be clear, nothing can replace the United States as an ally. And also, to be fair, nothing could replace Israel as an ally, right? So Israel might have other allies, but they would not even be remotely close in being helpful to Israel, like not even a percent, 1% of what United States offer to Israel. But it also works the other way around. Like Israel as an ally of United States, there's no better country. Like you can't replace what Israel offers to the United States. So that's
well, on the technology front, I think we give them a lot of satellite imagery that's very important and very helpful. I think we give them satellite access, and I think we give them some of the best equipment as far as stealth jets. Like stealth jets are not something to joke. Like we give them some very good stuff. So I do think that we are a good ally to them and not replaceable. And that goes vice versa. That goes both ways.
Yeah, I just don't like how JD Vance talks about Israel, but I do love how Marco Rubio talks about Israel. And this is a old video.
That looks like a Code Pink activist right there.
That is a Code Pink activist, and Rubio. Look at how Rubio responds to her.
My monkey sense was tingling.
This video is so epic, and it's only 36 seconds. I never get tired of watching it. So this is Code Pink confronting Marco Rubio on what was happening in Gaza back then, right? So when Israel was responding in Gaza in response to October 7th. So watch this.
Senator Rubio, will you call for
No, I will
ceasefire in
not.
Gaza?
On the
Senator
contrary.
Rubio,
Are you filming it?
Wait,
So I
yes.
want you guys to get this. I want them to destroy every element of Hamas they can get their hands on. These people are vicious animals who did horrifying crimes. And I hope you guys post that.
And what about the civilians that are being killed every day?
Hamas should stop hiding behind civilians, putting civilians in the way. Hamas knew that this was going to lead to this. So Hamas has stopped building their military installations underneath hospitals.
So you
underneath
don't care that 15,000 have died? You don't care about the babies that are being killed every day?
I think it's horrifying. I think it's terrible, and I think Hamas is 100% to blame. That's what I think. Make sure you post that, please.
Absolute legend.
Got him. Based. Look, I can't wait for Marcus Rubius Floridicus Canonicus, first of his name, to become president.
Oh my God. That would be, he owned it. Exactly. All right. Listen to this one, lady. Who is she? This is Jennifer Welch. Welch, is that how you say her name? So look at this video.
The Democratic Party has got to start listening. We do not like that our leaders are beholden to AIPAC and can see what's happening when a woman is kidnapped by ICE and her child is left standing on the streets bawling, crying, and you go to the floor of Congress and you speak emotionally and all of these things. And then when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel, you're all smiles for a photo shoot. Like, we're not stupid. Like, that moral duplicity doesn't work with our base. So Swazi, Jeffries, Booker, Schumer, and others, you're the ones who need to leave the party and call it MAGA light, because the Graham Plattners of the party, the Zoran Mamdanis of the party, are where the people want to be. And guess what these people can do? They can do the one thing you want so desperately, but because you're so fake, because you don't believe in anything except for getting lobbyist money, they can actually get somebody who was a Trump voter to vote for them because they're looking for authenticity. And when you're bought and paid for by AIPAC, you're not authentic. You're Benjamin Netanyahu's bitch. Period. The Democrat.
What do you think?
I sent you an image on Telegram of something I've been pointing out for a long time. There is lobbying, but the largest lobbying, and we're talking faro lobbying, comes from China at 457 million. All right. And then we have Qatar, 256 million. This hypocrite won't talk about that. Saudi Arabia, 310 million. This hypocrite won't talk about that. We have UAE for 242 million. All right. So when we're looking at the lobby, this is not on the side I have the influence, the NGO think tank funding. So look at the hypocritical. Look at Israel. Look at Israel. They're being stingy. All right. They're not helping their reputation of being penny pinchers here. All right, because if you look at everybody else's spending, I mean, the only thing I can accuse them of is penny pinching a little bit here, because look at how much everybody else is spending. Look at this. Look at this. This is lobbying. That's far out lobbying. That's lobbying. They don't have PAC spending, but they have a lot of lobbying. The only direct lobbying they do is not even $1 million. What is this? Israel only spends 0.7, right? And you need the American diaspora or the American Jewish people, Israelis. Those are the ones that are spending the money, because it's not Israel spending money. Israel spends 0.7. This is pathetic. Like, if anything makes me upset is Israel, why aren't you spending more here? Look at how much these people are spending. Look at UAE, 242 million in lobbying. This is FARA lobbying, literally lobbying. And you're crying about 0.7 that Israel spends, about the PAC money that comes from Americans? I'm sorry. This is an interest group of Americans that want to see Israel be okay. This is disgusting. The way they keep lying about AIPAC. I would, if you just took that money and dedicated it to showing how much the UAE spends in FARA and who gets that money, how much the Qataris spend, how much China spends, that's where I would point the money. If all you got is this 95 million, that's where you should aim it. You should make an identical campaign to this anti-AIPAC and point it back at them, because they're a bunch of hypocrites.
But the 95 million doesn't count, because the 95 million, these are Americans, right? The
No,
AIPAC,
I'm saying 0.7 million.
I know. I'm just clarifying to the people in the chat. Okay, so I need people to understand this, right? So look at, for example, China. Okay, over total influence, the amount of spending that they do is in the billions. Okay, so the direct lobbying money is like $500 million, but total influence is between 2 billion to 7 billion, right? And it's illegal. A lot of it is illegal. Qatar is 5 billion. So the direct lobbying is like $250 million. These are not millions. This is with a B billion. Okay. And Qatar, the total influence is 5 billion to 7 billion. Saudi Arabia, 4 billion.
I want you to notice that they are more sure of Qatar.
Let me finish my point, please. So UAE is 2 billion. Okay. So China, 7 billion, Qatar, 7 billion, Saudi Arabia, 4 billion, UAE, 2 billion. When it comes to Israel, the total influence, it says 100 million. So not even like, it doesn't even get to 10% of a billion, right? Not even 10% of a billion. But again, remember, this total influence, most of it is counting AIPAC. AIPAC is American. The only Israeli part is not even 1 million. So we have governments of China spending 7 billion, basically 7,000 million. And Israel doesn't even do 1 million. Not even $1 million. 7,000 million from China, and also another 7,000 million from Qatar. For Israel directly from the government, only less than 1 million. And this AIPAC thing, this is not Israel. These are Americans. Americans should be able to influence their government. It's their freedom of speech. What the hell are you doing here? AIPAC is not Israel. AIPAC is Americans.
They're spending dentist money on this.
So yeah, so what Monkey is referring to is like the dental lobby, dentist lobby in the United States spends more money on lobbying than AIPAC. And this is Israel. And guys, Israel, this is another criticism I have for Israel. Not even $1 million. You're like, your relationship with the United States is not even worth $1 million.
This is penny pinching.
Yeah.
This is penny pinching. You're not escaping the allegations on this.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. Amazing. Unbelievable. Okay.
I just want to make, like, even if it was like we make the distinction, this is American money, yes, but let's, we have to look at the logical fallacy of saying that these 95 million are incredibly important, and the 245, the 300, the 350 million dollar is not important. If we're talking about lobbying, is we're being very specific about lobbying, American or not. If we're talking about lobbying, hello, that's not a lot. That's very much not a lot compared to everybody else. Let's just be real. Let's stay on, like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, guys, we're about to go to our discussion group in 30 minutes, and I have not eaten, so I'm gonna go there fast. I'm gonna go eat fast and get ready for our group call. So you could join our group call. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. Monkey will be there. I will be there. Other people will be there, and you could come talk to us over there. Link is in the chat. If you are watching us on X, you could find the link in my bio, Armin Navabi. That's my X account, and you could find the link to our school community there in my bio. And also on YouTube, you could find the link in the bio of Liberty Politics YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe also when you're here. Also, if you're not going to come to our group call, you could just watch our group call because we're going to be live streaming it on Liberty Politics in about half an hour. So also the QR code in the top left will take you there as well.
Anyone who's been watching on my channel, I want to thank you for dropping by. You will be able to see me in the link that has just been dropped. So make sure you come by. Really appreciate you guys for coming by. Thank you. We're trying to get to 450 if we can today. So that's kind of the goal. If we can't get to 450, that would be great. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being here. And, thank you for, putting up with my monkey business.
All right, I'm gonna put the link to Monkey's channel in the live chat. He's almost halfway there, like, because we're trying to get him to 1,000 subscribers so he could monetize his channel. You have a live today? You're gonna do a live today?
Yes, I'll be on at 7 today at 8. I'm sorry, after Ali show at 8. We're doing a PM CS, that's preventive maintenance checks and services. This is something that happens in the motor pools across the military on every Monday, and we're gonna do it as well.
Awesome. All right, guys. So that's us, and we'll see you in half an hour. And until then, I'm Israel Chai, Slava Ukrainia, Cuba Libre, Long Live America, Javid Shah, Payande, Iran. Mwah. See you guys soon.
Peace.